Hi, jump scare. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. I'm totally alive. I'm not dead. Stop. Quit telling people I'm dead. Quit telling people I'm dead. Quit telling people I'm dead. I was in the bathroom. Jeez. I needed to take a sec. Is this your ghost? Debatable. Maybe. Maybe. Sometimes I can still hear the sound of her voice. Dawn, quit telling people I'm dead. Anyway, hi guys. Welcome to the Normalist Art Stream. And by the Normalist Art Stream, that was I don't know if you guys could tell, the old title of the stream has been changed. Long live the new title of the stream, which is, we're talking about the Kickstarter and doing some doodles probably while I talk on shit, because a lot has happened this week, gang. A lot has happened this week. But the most important thing is Kickstarter! Oh my god, you guys, my Kickstarter! It lives! It is, wow, I scrolled, oh. It is there, it is happening. We are like less than $200 away from the first stretch goal, and it's been up for less than 12 hours. What the heck? You guys! You guys! I've been sitting here. Hang on, I'm gonna do something really quick. I'm gonna Kickstarter. Wow, there she's looking at it now. Wow, Kickstarter. Kickstarter, wow. You were so worried. Like, okay, my thing is like, I knew it would. Jen! Immediately, sir. Immediately. Jared, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ah. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. But yes, so Kickstarter happened this morning. I held my breath and I pushed the button that did launch the Kickstarter after spending like the last 2 weeks freaked out and stressed out and losing my mind. Over just like, oh god, do I have all the costs correct? Did I account for everything? Is everything gonna be cool? Is this all gonna work? Oh my god. Just this morning I was double checking. I was double checking everything, and I was just
Congrats
like,
on
the
raising
anxiety of I feel
24K
like
on
I
your
forgot
Kickstarter.
something, but I don't know if I've forgotten something. Cherry Clown, thank you for the 6-month membership. I appreciate it. Congrats on rating 24K on your Kickstarter. I don't know what current, that might be Canadian dollars actually. But yeah, thank you. I have a feeling that's probably a different currency, but yeah. Maybe it will hit 24K USD at some point. But yeah, no, it's just like, okay, so my thing was, I don't know if you guys could tell. I based the cost and like the price of the books and how much it was going to raise and everything. I based most of the numbers off the How to Webcomic Kickstarter from last year. And because like that one was supposed to raise 15K for like the base, and I added on a couple of extra thingies. And so that one, the How to Webcomic Kickstarter from last year took like 5 days to fund. And I knew this one would probably go a little faster just because like I had more followers for the campaign before it started. I didn't think it would fund in 4 hours! I was taking a nap because my mom and I went to lunch. Because she had to come over to my house to pick some stuff up, and then she was just like, let's go to lunch. And I was like, okay. Zoe! Zoe, thank you! Is Vector gonna say it, or did the bot already explode?
I can't stay for long because I have D&D, but I want to say congrats and I love you so much, and I'm so happy that your art is being shown all the love and support it deserves. purple,
Oh,
heart
Zoe,
purple,
thank you for
heart
the super
purple,
chat.
heart.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Go have fun at D&D. Don't die. Don't die in Dungeons and Dragons. Heart emojis. I'm doing heart hands, but you can't see it because my arms can't move. I'm a VTuber. Oh gosh, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so my mom had to come over to pick something up from my house. And she was like, let's go to lunch so you're not just sitting there staring at the Kickstarter screen all day. And I was like, good idea. And so we went to lunch, and I came back, and I ate too much at lunch, and I went, and I got home, and I fell into an immediate food coma. And when I went to sleep, it was like, at like 13,000, I think. And I was like, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'll be a little bit better prepared for the street because I'm fucking tired. And so I laid down to take a nap, and I was awoken by the sound of my phone going fucking crazy because all my friends were DMing me and tagging me on Discord and being like, oh my god, Star, congrats on funding! And my half asleep ass was just like, hubba, hubba, hubba. And I just like kind of rolled out of bed, like it was all groggy, and I'm like, I refreshed the Kickstarter page and it said 15,000, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then I went back to sleep. I was tired, gang. That sandwich took me the fuck out. Because here's my thing, gang, is like I usually take a nap in the middle of, I take a siesta. I take a little nap in the middle of the day because usually I run out of energy by like 1 or 2 o'clock. And then, so today was like my normal nap time combined with food coma time. I was just like, bleh, bleh, phone's making noise, bleh, bleh, bleh. Hey, bleh, bleh. There was a party in the Discord as soon as it hit 15K. Yeah, I saw. I've been watching. I have been observing. But yes, I just chosen sandwich. Yeah, it was like a ham and cheese melt from the deli on the corner. It was very tasty. Must be a good sandwich. Yeah, it's a good sandwich. Good sandwich. But yeah, so just like I am still a little bit sleepy, to be completely honest. But it's just been a very eventful day, and if I can be honest, a very eventful week. Because oh my god, we need to talk about some other stuff. This is like high key, this is just gonna turn into a just chatting stream week in review because holy shit, gang, it's been an eventful fucking week. And not in the good way for the most part. It's like been very good things and very bad things combined. Oh my goodness. But yeah. I just want to say thank you guys for backing the Kickstarter and helping to put the books in print. I'm still extremely nervous, and I will continue to be nervous until the books are in my hands and they look nice. I will continue to be nervous until that exact moment, but until then, thank you guys for backing the Kickstarter. And if you haven't yet and you want to buy the book, the link is not only in the description below the video, it is also in the pinned comment at the top of chat. So, you know, we're like $10, $15, no, $5 onies away. We are one pledge away from our first stretch goal, which is spot gloss on the book. Make it pretty shiny, pretty shiny. Your wrists are gonna hurt from signing all the books. Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, I have a little marketing ploy where if you guys back the project on day one, you can get a special tier that lets you get the book signed for free. So that's, I think, contributing to why it backed so fast. Maya, get off that computer! No, that's on top of the computer. You need to get off the computer. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to sign, like, just from today, I'm gonna have to sign like 400 books. But you know what? That is the price I am willing to pay, because I mean, you know what? I always felt I'll level with you guys. We hit the spot class goal! We hit the stretch goal! 18K, let's freaking go! My air horns button is broken or else I would be pressing it, so I'm gonna do it with my mouth instead. Beep, 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 beep. Let's freaking go, gamers! Thank you guys so much! Ah! Okay. But yeah, so here's the thing. I'm gonna level with you guys. I'm gonna level with you about getting the book signed. Our next stretch goal is at 20K, we get gold foil on the cover of the books. Gold foil. Cause these books are gonna be bougie. They're gonna be bougie AF, and I need that in my life. But yes. Yes, 20K. We get gold foil on the front cover. It's going to be very pretty. But yeah, so when I did the How to Webcomic Kickstarter, and the same is true with the Castoff Kickstarter, because like I said, I kind of did the same basic pricing plan for the tiers. I said, if you want me to sign your book, it's like an extra $10, which at the same time, it's not a lot. It's not like a whole lot. You know, but at the same time, it's like signatures are so easy. It's just like, blah, 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 and it's just like, I just do it, right? And so there's part of me that always felt a little bit bad about charging that much for a signature, but I know that other artists charge a lot more, and I'm just like, how much is my signature worth, really? You have to put a number on how much your signature is worth. It doesn't feel great, gang. It doesn't feel great, if I'm being completely honest. It feels a little snooty. It feels like, hey, my signature, you want me to sign your book, you have to pay me money. I've never liked that. I've never enjoyed that. I did make it cost money just so I wouldn't have to sign like 2,000 books or whatever. But I didn't like it. And so when I did How to Webcomic, what I did was I had a limit. I had an early bird tier that was limited to like 20. And that was... you back this tier and you'll get your book signed for free. But I only did like 20 of those for the How to Webcomic Kickstarter. And today I was thinking, like, well, okay, I've got a lot of folks who would love a signature, and I want to make sure that like the people who are like my biggest fans who are going to back me day one get a signature and don't have to pay extra for it. And so that's something I ended up deciding to do, is I have my early bird tiers, which is like the first, I say it's the first day, but really it's the first 24 hours. Just because, you know, like there's people in other time zones, right? We aren't paying for the signature, we're paying for your wrist surgery after signing 2,000 books. Oh, Lord. But yeah, and so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna put like a numeric 420 backers, blaze it. Beep, 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 beep. All right. Anyway, so I was like, signing books, all it costs me is my time, and you know, like I have to sign all the mail club postcards every month, and that's like 100, and it only takes like 30 minutes. And I had to sign like 200, 250-ish books for the How to Webcomic Kickstarter, and I did all that in one stream. So like, it's not that much work. And so I made it so that if you back the project on day one, you will get your book signed for free. It was a little bit tricky for like the higher tiers that included merch, because I didn't want to have to make duplicate early bird tiers of every single tier. So what I just did was I made early bird tiers for like the book and then the book and the ebook, because I figured those are going to be the most common ones. And then I added all the extra merch as add-ons so people could like build their own tier if they got one of the early bird tiers but also wanted merch. But yeah. I thought that would be nice for folks, and it would also, you know, like try and drive day one pledges for people who have been following me for a while but maybe don't have the money to throw around just for a signature. It's important to me, you know, because it's like, full disclosure, if you come up to me at a con and you ask me to sign your book, I'm not going to charge you for that shit. I only charge for signatures on Kickstarter because, you know, it's a prohibitive expense, so I'm not having to sign every single book, right? Because that would take a lot of time, but it does make things easier. But I always felt a little bad about making people pay for a signature. It worked, you reached your first goal. Yeah, I mean, I know it works. That's my marketing genius. But How does the build your own tier work? Wondering so I can back tonight. Okay, so I have the early bird tiers. Actually, can I scroll? Yes, I can. Haha. So we have the the elite tiers are I have elite bookworm and I have elite mage, and it's basically the same thing, but the elite mage has the PDF included. And so these don't come with any additional merch, but if you back these are only available for a limited time. I don't know how well you guys can see that. But these will only be available for a limited time, and there's a discount on these where you can get the stuff and you get your book. It doesn't charge extra to get your book signed. But because this does not include any of the other like extra merch, like the sticker and the prints and all that, when you're in checkout, you can do, when you're in checkout, you can select extra merch that you would like. Just so it just saved me the time of having to make like custom tiers for each and every single one. Oh, also, can I talk about the fact that my freaking $200 tier, the one that comes with like a little marker sketch, sold out like fucking Taylor Swift tickets. Those shits were gone. Those shits were gone immediately. They did not last 5 minutes. I know I didn't have a whole lot of them up there, but my goodness. I had like a limit of 5 and they were gone in like 3 minutes. I see a Jared there. No, yeah, we were like giggling in the mod chat. I'm like, Jen, I see your icon on that. He strikes again. The Discord name of yes, that Jared coming in. Truly an icon, local celebrity. Some in Discord sad they sold out. Yeah, I am. So here's the thing, is I don't want to do too many of the custom marker sketches because I don't want to burn myself out because those take a lot of time, right? Like a signature takes me 2 seconds. A full marker illustration will take me like an hour or two to do. Sometimes even more than that if I can't get the sketch right. And I usually only do like one of those a day on top of other stuff. And so I don't want to do too many of them. I don't want to have them to be like limited or unlimited, right? But I'm kind of considering adding more for a few reasons, right? Number one, it's like, I could do 5 more. I could do 5 more. It's not that big of a deal. I could do 5 more. That'd be, if people want those, I could do a couple more, I suppose. But the other reason is segue time. Ya girl just got some new markers today that she's extremely excited about. That would make for 10. Yeah, a total of 10. So 5 of them have already been claimed. I might add 5 more later tonight if people are normal. If people are normal. Did my music stop or? No, it's just quiet. Okay. I had my music turned down real low. This is how carpal tunnel starts. I mean, I'm still careful, you know, like I make sure to take breaks and everything. But yeah, stop. Your girl got like 200 alcohol markers in the mail today. And if I'm being honest, I was almost like as excited for those markers as I was for the Kickstarter. Because, okay, so a couple of months ago, a brand reached out to me. It's Ohuhu. They've done a lot of like influencer sponsorships and stuff where they like send you free markers and you make a video about them. And they emailed me a couple months ago. I ended up kind of like leaving them on red because it's like I don't really do like free product stuff. It wasn't a sponsorship. It was like they sent me a bunch of free shit and then I make a video where I use the stuff in the video. They're like Copic markers, but they're a hell of a lot cheaper. And so they emailed me a couple months ago and they were like, hey, we want to send you some markers. And I was like, I don't really do, I feel like if I do I feel like if I do this, it's just gonna open the floodgates for people to just like want to send me free stuff and then ask for reviews all the time. And I've already like, I've gotten those offers a lot for like tablets, but it's like, I already have a tablet that I like. And it's just like, what would I do with all these tablets that they're gonna send me? And also I have a friend who used to do tablet reviews, and apparently the people who do tablet reviews are real persnickety. But so I was just like, I don't know. But then I was like, I do miss keeping a sketchbook though. And they want to send me like 200 markers. Okay, yeah, sure, fine, send me the markers. And so they sent me like a 200 something set of markers and a sketch pad, like a marker sketch pad with like a couple pages or like 70 something pages in it, and a set of fine liners. And so I got those like an hour before the stream started, because like the person that like I was in contact with, they said it's like, okay, we'll send these to you in the mail, and that was like a couple of days ago, but I wasn't sure where they were shipping them from, and they never sent me a tracking number, so I was just like, I don't know when they're gonna show up. What if they show up while I'm at MomoCon, and what if it's rainy and then the package gets all wet? Oh no. But they showed up this afternoon like right before the stream started. There was part of me that was just like, fuck it, it's a traditional art stream now. But I didn't want to have to finagle my webcam. Maybe after MomoCon we can do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a video talking about traditional art and stuff, and doing that for, again, it's not a sponsorship. They're not paying me to review them. They just sent me some free stuff and said, hey, if you, do whatever the hell you want, but use these in a video somewhere, and we would like you to show your process instead of just the finished pieces. And I was like, thumbs up, okay. So there might be some, I bought like a new phone holder that clamps to my desk that's less wiggly. Because I have one that I've been using for TikTok streams occasionally, but it's very wiggly. And so I haven't used it much. But potentially after MomoCon, I want to do some traditional art streams and like play around with those. Because the video that I'm making for this probably isn't going to come out till like later in the summer. I'm thinking probably July at the absolute earliest, probably August instead. Because, you know, like I want to fill the sketchbook first. But yeah, I've been like real antsy for a couple days now, just being like, markers coming in the mail. When are they gonna come in the mail? Markers. I was package markers. Cause like, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but it was funny because when Ohuhu reached out to me, they were like, hey, your digital art's really good, but we want to see you try traditional art. And I was like, in the silliest and goofiest way possible, not being mean at all, just saying this because it's a joke. Do not cite the traditional art to me. I was born in the traditional art, molded by it, or whatever. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but like I was a Copic girly in high school. I had like this 72 set of Copic markers. I got those for Christmas. And like one year when I was in high school, I think my freshman year of high school, and I was so freaking into those. I loved my Copics, and that was back when they were $4 a marker. And now they're like $8 a marker. So I'm just like, I like Copics, but not that much. Holy shit. And so it was really cool for them to be like, hey, do you just like want a bunch of markers for free and all you have to do is draw with them and post them in a video? And I was like, yeah! Cause like with the Ohuhu sets, if you buy them in the big sets, it comes out to like less than $1 per marker, and that is wild. But yeah, so like I grew up with like doing marker illustrations. I freaking love markers. I've always loved markers. And so I'm really, really, really excited to get back into it. I'm already kind of thinking about like stuff I want to do with the sketchbook is I've never done the thing where you use sticky notes in a sketchbook, but I bought a pack of fun colored sticky notes at the Walmart the other day. And I'm gonna use those. And if I do fine liners, so I'm gonna use those. And I was just like, I was getting real excited, and I went to the store and I bought some, I just went to the arts and crafts store for kneaded erasers because I figured that those would be nice. I see a lot of people on TikTok use those, and sure enough, they do a really good job, and they don't get freaking pencil shavings everywhere, or eraser shavings. It's awesome. And like, I'd used them before, but in art school, like 10 years ago. But then while I was there, the Hobby Lobby, and I know it's Hobby Lobby, but it's also the only art store within like 45 miles of me, so I don't really have much of an option. They had some Poscas, like the acrylic paint markers, and they had a set that was like black, white, and then metallic silver and gold, and I was like, ooh, those would be so good for shinies. And then I also bought some like metallic gel pens because I thought they were pretty, and I was like, I can't go to the craft store and buy one thing. I can't buy one thing at the art store. Retail therapy. I had a fucking week, okay? I had a week. My Discord got hacked. We haven't even talked about that yet. Oh my god. What the fuck was this week even? Poscas are so expensive, they are, but I've never used them before and I wanted to, and so I got just like a little pack, and then after I bought the little pack of like 4, I found out that they have Poscas with fine point, and I'm like, damn it, I wish I had bought the ones with the fine point, but they didn't have those at the Hobby Lobby. So what would happen with it? Yeah, okay, so I made a thread about this on Twitter, but I know that not everyone has seen that. So what happened is, do you guys remember a little over a year ago when I made that video about how I had some bullshit happen and I got locked out of my Twitter for a month? This was a continuation of that. This was that to Electric Boogaloo. So here's what happened. Here's the TLDR, is that I have a 2-factor authentication app that I use. And I had been using this app for all my 2-factor authentication stuff. You guys know how 2-factor works, right? You have the little app, and it will give you, it randomly generates a code every 30 seconds, and then you plug that code in, and it's an extra step in your login process that makes it easier to, or it makes it harder for people to hack your account. Well, bit me in the ass. 2-factor authentication has teeth marks in my ass, because here's what happened. So I guess at some point there was like a weird glitch with my 2-factor authentication app. And I contacted support, and they were like the screen was frozen or something. And I could not like click on any of the other things. And so I contacted customer support for the poor phrasing. No, I said exactly what I meant. I said exactly what I meant. That's not poor phrasing. That is phrasing exactly the way I intended it. So I contacted customer support, and they said, okay, well, all you have to do it sounds like something in your app is bugged, so what you're gonna need to do is delete the app and reinstall it. And I asked them, I said very pointedly, very specifically, I said, is deleting the app going to get rid of all my 2-factor authentication data and make it so I can't log into anything anymore? And this customer service representative told me, no. And so I trusted them, naively, and I deleted the app, and I tried to reinstall it, and sure enough, that fixed the issue. Also deleted all my fucking 2-factor codes. Commenced the panic, because the whole reason that I found out that this glitch was an issue was because I was currently logged out of my Twitter due to like an app thing. Like they logged everybody out because of some update they did to the website. And so I could not log back into my Twitter. That's why I was logged out of my Twitter for a month. TLDR, I was still logged into everything else important, and I was able to remove 2-factor authentication and get it set up on a new version of the app that is actually, you know, backed up on the servers and has multiple points of access, so I don't fucking lose it again. However, there were 2 casualties. 1 was Twitter, which I did eventually get back like a month later, and 2 was Discord. And Discord, I am stuck in a never-ending stupid loop. Because here's the thing with Discord. I'm gonna use my freaking thing down here. So. a couple months before this happened, I reset my password on Discord. I don't remember why, but I think I needed to reset my password on Discord. I reset it for something, and then the password saver app that I used, for whatever reason, did not save my new password. So that's inconvenient. I no longer remember what my password is for Discord. So the password is gone. Then when all this bullshit, I tried to reset my password. Oh, well, no. So like, I didn't realize I didn't remember what my password was after I changed it. Cause I was logged in and everything was fine. Well, when I lost my two-factor authentication, I tried to go in and remove my two-factor authentication, but you can't remove two-factor authentication on Discord without putting in your password. And I don't know my password. And you can't reset your password without putting your two-factor authentication in. Do you see the problem? Do you see the stupid circle that I am eternally locked in? I can't get rid of two-factor authentication without putting in my password. I can't change my password without putting in two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication does not exist. It has been nuked from space, and I do not remember my password, and it's bullshit. This is the never-ending stupid loop with Discord that I have been suffering through for over a year. This happened in December of 2022 is when this bullshit happened, and they have, to this day, remained completely unwilling to help me in this. Yeah, Sisyphus? Yeah, that's fucking me. I've submitted multiple help tickets about this, asking, hey, I have multiple ways to prove that I am the owner of this account. Can you please help me out? And they're like, we can help you delete your account. And I'm like, don't fucking delete my account. So anyway. That was the prologue. That was Act 1. Do you have your rescue codes? No, because this is unfortunately, I did not get codes. You have to put, in order to get the, okay, well here, let's, to get the backup codes, you know what you need? You know what you need to give them in order to activate your access codes? Your two-factor authentication. That I don't have! And I never generated any before this bullshit. And so it's the fucking stupid loop! The loop of never-ending Discord stupidity is what I am currently suffering through. So anyway. The point is that I don't have any of this bullshit, and Discord refuses to help me. Every time I email them, I put in multiple support tickets for this, hoping to maybe find someone who would be like, if I go to somebody else, maybe they'll be willing to help me. And every single person is like, hey, we can't do that. Well, we can help you delete your account though. And I'm like, don't fucking delete my account. I'm the owner of a 2,000 member server. And they're like, well, then we can't help you. Bitch. Okay, so this is the prologue. This is Act 1, okay? This is Act 1. This happened like a year and a half ago. Act 2 is what happened on Monday. Because, okay, I knew that at some point, when all this bullshit happened, I knew at some point that I was going to lose access to my Discord account. Because I figured that, so like, as long as I still had Discord activated on my phone, I would still be able to log in with the QR code login on like my computer and stuff. But I knew that if for whatever reason, like if there was an app update and I got logged out on my phone, or my phone got lost or stolen or whatever, I would just lose access to my Discord account. I knew this was an inevitability. This was something that was going to happen at some point. I knew this. And so to prepare for that inevitability, I made a backup account, which is now the account that I've been using on Discord. This is the account that I was forced to transition to earlier this week. I gave that account admin access on my Discord server, and I just did not log into it. I just let it sit there and wait. Laying in wait for its moment when I knew I would eventually have to switch over to it. But I was trying to prolong it as long as I could because, like, you know, I have all my DMs, and I have my, like, pretty lengthy friend list of, like, other artist folks that I talk to a lot. That's all gone now, but it's fine. It's not. I'm sad, but... So anyway, you know what happens? I figured that at some point, that account would just go out with a whimper, and I would have to explain to people, hey guys, I lost access to this account, you have to add me again, sorry, I know it's inconvenient, la-di-da-di-da. But no, somehow, despite all of this bullshit standing in the way, a system that I, the proper owner owner of the account have not been able to like figure out that I have not been able to get past. The actual owner of the account, I've not been able to do anything about this, which means I haven't been able to log in for months, years. Somebody hacked my fucking Discord account. And people kept saying, oh, Star clicked a link, Star clicked an irresponsible link. I literally didn't. I have no fucking idea how this person got access to my account. I do not click on weird sus links. I have legitimately no idea how this happened. But on Monday, some bitch hacked my account and started spamming people about getting free Steam gift cards. And because I was the head admin on the Castoff server, they couldn't stop me from doing @everyone's in every single channel on that server and in pretty much every single server that I was in, and then DMing everybody on my friends list the exact same shit. And the scary thing was, I was still logged in. I was still getting all the messages of people replying and tagging me and being like, Star, your account's been hacked. Star, what's going on? Star, your account's been hacked.
Guys, don't tell her I did it or I won't get a cookie.
The entire time. I was like sitting at my computer with Discord open when it happened. And there was nothing I could do about it. Because of this bullshit. I couldn't get this person out of my account. Because the easiest way to do that, you know, is reset your password and just like log out of all other devices. You can't do that without you can't reset your password without two-factor authentication. And you can't get rid of two-factor authentication without putting in your password. And you can't use backup. None of this shit worked! I could not kick the hacker out of my account because of all this previously mentioned bullshit. Here, I will tidy this up a little bit. So I literally could not do anything. I just had to sit there and watch this hack happen. And it was fucking demoralizing and horrible to watch. Like, there was literally nothing I could do. I just had to close out of Discord and put in, like, I had to put in a support ticket and wait on Discord. And it took hours for them to get back to me. Also, I forgot to do this, but Charlie, thank you for joining the memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you. And so when I put in that Discord request, I guess enough people like reported my account for suspicious activity, which for the record is what you should do. So if you reported those messages, you did the right thing. I'm not saying that you didn't. But unfortunately, Discord is a functional website, a functional service with functional help staff, because their solution was to lock down my account and say you can reactivate your account by resetting your password. The password that I can't reset without putting in my two-factor authentication or a backup code, neither of which I have. Do you see the issue? So that account's dead. Is like, And so I've been trying to tell them, it's like, hey, listen, this is fucking bullshit, and I've been asking you guys for your help with this for literally a year and a half now, and none of you have helped me with this. But at the very least, if you cannot turn two-factor authentication off on my old account, can you at the very least help me transfer ownership of my server, my 2,000 member server, and also the other smaller one that I run? Can you at the very least transfer that over to my new backup account, which has admin access? I can prove that I own this one. I can prove that I am the owner of this server. Can you at least help me transfer ownership of my server to my new account? Fucking crickets. They never responded. This may sound insane, but did you try calling them? I did. I did, actually. I found Discord, they don't want you to call them, but I did found the phone number for their, actual office, and they were just like, you can leave a voicemail, but we probably won't listen to it unless you know your extension, and I'm like, fuck. So, apparently, there is actually a system you can go through if your server meets certain requirements, which mine does. Because it needs, your server has to have 100 members, and you have to have another account that has admin privileges that you can transfer the account to. and I do have that, but it requires the previous owner's account to be absent or like inactive for 30 days. So in a month, I can transfer ownership over to my backup account. But, and I mean, like I said, my new account has admin access. I just like, my options are limited, but it's fine. It's fine. I can still add new moderators if I need to. I can still do basically everything. It's just fucking pain in the ass. And I've tried being a Karen. I've emailed them multiple times being like, hey, still waiting on a solution for this. I've like DM'd them on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, Discord support. Fucking your guys have stopped responding to me, and they don't respond to me either. So I'm probably gonna put in another support ticket tonight and be like, hey, the person who was helping me with this ticket has stopped responding to me. I need someone who is going to help me here. And I am just gonna have to keep doing that until they stop fucking ignoring me. Don't they know who I am? I'm an influencer. Look at how much money my Kickstarter made in the first day. I'm an influencer. Anyway. So that's what happened on Monday. And then on Tuesday, my Twitter account got hacked, but that one was resolved extremely quickly. And to be fair, that was also partially my fault. I never turned two-factor back on my Twitter. I have it on now, but they got rid of they'll text you a code method of two-factor authentication on Twitter a while back, and I never turned it back on. And so some fucking guy hacked my account and started tweeting about crypto bullshit, but I caught it in like 5 minutes and deleted it all and changed my password and logged everybody else. Yeah, and you were sickish. Yeah, no, okay, so like, I know I was gonna stream on Monday. Well, the hack happened on Monday and I was way too frazzled to stream on Monday. And then I was thinking about doing it on Tuesday, but then the Twitter hack happened on Tuesday. I was literally so frazzled. Guys, I am not exaggerating this at all. I literally was so stressed out by all this, I gave myself a fever, and I'm not joking. Like, it sounds very dramatic, and it is, because like, it was a very low grade fever. It was like a 99.6 or something, but it was high enough that my thermometer beeped at me. Angrily, and it like the screen flashed right. It's like, hey, you have a fever. It's like beep 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 beep, and like usually if you don't have a fever, it's just like beep when your results are done. But this time, like, the screen turned red and it went beep 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 beep, and I was like, okay, I think that means I have a fever. And then I did it again like 5 minutes later and said 99.4, and so I was like, I'm probably fine, but my face does feel very warm and I'm very tired. But it's just like, I literally gave myself a fever. I was so stressed out. And I was like, I hate this week. I hate everything about this week. I'm supposed to start a Kickstarter in a couple of days. What the fuck? And so I went and I like turned two-factor on for a bunch of other important shit. I have like all my email shit backed up. I have all this like extra passwords and shit. I'm just glad is not the right word. I guess I'm relieved almost that this happened before MomoCon, because if this happened during MomoCon, holy shit, I would have not survived. If I had not, like, the Discord hack could have been so much worse if I was not actively at my computer the exact moment it happened. Because, like, holy shit, man. Holy shit. And so, but yeah, I was in a, if I'm being real bad headspace for like the first part of this week because of all that bullshit. So yeah, that was my first half of the week. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I just kind of tried to take it easy. And then this morning I woke up and launched my Kickstarter. 19K, let's go! Pew, 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 pew. What was the hacker saying? It was just some like copy. It was a bot. It was some bot bullshit about like a free Steam gift card, $10 free Steam gift card. And my friends were making fun of me. Sarah was saying that at the I should give away a free Steam gift card at the at the MomoCon meetup I'm doing. I was like, Sarah, no! Don't make fun of me! You can't make fun of this personal tragedy like that. Mean. Everybody saying do it is also joining in on making fun of me for personal tragedies. But yeah. So that's what happened. Honestly, this week has just been such a fucking pendulum of holy shit. Because, you know, you start the week with that, and then you end the week with making almost $20,000 on a Kickstarter in one day! But yeah, I'm leaving for MomoCon on Tuesday, and I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends, and I'm gonna have a good time, goddammit! I'm gonna have a good time, goddammit! I'm gonna be so relaxed and chill! You'll be so fine and normal. So fine and normal. The most fine and normal. The finest and normalist. But yeah. Oh! It's been so long since I streamed. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. My has-been video went up on Friday. Did you guys watch it? My video went up finally. The one that I was literally so stressed about that I couldn't sleep the night before. Stress is not the right word. I was worried about it. I was worried that the freaking fandom was gonna jump down my throat and kill me from the inside. But honestly, surprisingly, I've gotten like some negative comments for that video. It's mostly people either trying to be contrarian or people like spouting points that I made in the video as if they did not watch the video. They were like, yeah, they didn't have any choice about it only being 8 episodes. That's all the network gave them, which, like, I talk about in the video. Like, not even that far into the video. And I'm just like, can we all just come together and agree not to leave snarky comments on YouTube videos until you've watched the entire thing? Because, you know, sometimes the creator will discuss the thing that you are about to make a snarky comment about. You know, just considering, have you considered it ever for a moment? But yeah. I'll put it this way. I haven't gotten any comments that were mean enough to get flagged by YouTube. Which I consider a great success. Great success. And it's like, so much better than I thought it was gonna turn out. And you know, honestly, a lot of the people who are being like contrarian and being like, what do you mean you didn't watch the pilot before making a review of season 1? When I very clearly explain why I didn't, because the pilot episode is not part of the Amazon show and therefore watching it counts as extra research. Because it's separate, and people who just, you know, casually stumble, people who are not in the fandom, like me, who just, you know, stumble across the show and didn't know there was a pilot. I knew there was a pilot, I purposely didn't watch it because if it was important, they would have included it with the Amazon shit. And people were like, you can't review the show in good faith without having watched this separate piece of material and also the sister show that answers a lot of the questions you have. And I'm like, you are literally proving the point. If it's important and you want people to understand your show, you have to put the information in your actual show. But luckily, I didn't even have to respond to those comments because other people responded for me and made the exact same points I was gonna make. So I'm like, yay, I don't have to get into a fight on the internet because other people are doing it for me. Thank you. You guys never have to get into internet arguments on my account, for the record. When people do it of their own volition to prove the exact points that I was going to make anyway, and I don't actually have to do it, it relaxes me. And I'm like, oh yay, someone else said it, so I don't have to. Someone who actually watched the video comments for me. But yeah. Unfortunately, that series does require the pilot. See, that's the thing, though, is like, so many comments have been saying, yeah, the pilot's not really necessary. And then a lot of other people are like, yeah, no, you definitely should have watched the pilot. And I'm like, which is true? Because I'm getting such mixed signals, and I'm getting so many people who are like spouting off what I later found out were just headcanons and like bits of lore from the creators' live streams. And I'm like, guys, if it's important, it's gotta be in the show. Unless, it's just like, if people start spouting headcanons at me, I'm just like, when was this stated in the show? When was this stated in the show? Give me a timestamp, an episode and a timestamp of when this information was given in the show, and then I will admit that I, like, you know, missed it or whatever. But anyway. But yeah, in general, much better response to that video than I thought I was going to get, which was very reassuring. Because honestly, like, the Has Been Hotel one was the one I was most worried about, but it's also been performing very well, so it's why I wanted to do it. I'm not sure when the next one will come out, but I do have ideas for what I want my next ones to do. I was considering doing one on Oshinoko, but now I'm kind of feeling less interested in doing that one. It's just like, I've kind of lost the sparkle for it. But what I would love to do is, I want to do one about Ghost Trick. Specifically talking about, like, hey, Has Been Hotel's biggest problem is that there is no build-up. Do you guys want to see the best fucking build-up to an interesting story I've ever seen in any media ever? But my hesitancy with that, like, I genuinely love Ghost Trick. Probably one of the best stories in any video game I've ever played. Love Ghost Trick. Adore it. I don't want people to watch that video without having first experienced Ghost Trick. Because I'm gonna have to put, like, the world's longest disclaimer at the start, being like, do not watch this video unless you have either played it or watched a playthrough first. Do not let this video be the thing that spoils Ghost Trick for you. Do not do it. Is it a game or a show? It's a game. It's a game. It's written by the same guy who made all the earlier Ace Attorney games. Is Shutakumi. It is an incredible game. You can beat the whole thing in like 12 hours. It is on Steam. It just very recently got an HD remaster. It was originally a DS game. It is now on Steam and a couple other platforms. It is extremely good. Very short, very succinct story. It will make you fucking cry. It's so good. And if you don't have the money for it, if you don't have the time, I did stream the entire thing, and I voice acted all the characters. I did all the stuff. You should add a card link to your playthrough. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, either go play this game yourself first, or here, look, I streamed the entire thing. You can sit down and watch this in one day. Star, can you give us a free Steam gift card for Ghost Trick? Stop. Does my pain mean nothing to you? But yes, so that is, I want to talk about Ghost Trick, but I'm gonna have to put like such a huge fucking disclaimer on that video of like, either go play this game or go watch like a playthrough of it first, because holy shit, do not let this video be the thing that spoils this amazing story for you. Is it more worth playing? Absolutely, in my opinion. It's so good, and it is absolutely worth experiencing for yourself. But you know, like, if you can't afford to play the game, or you don't have time, or like whatever, if you'd rather just like watch a playthrough, I voice acted all the characters, I did all that shit. And yeah, thank you, Sly. Sly just posted the playlist for the full stream, so if you guys want to go watch that. Corner Howard, thank you for joining the memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, so that's probably what my next Narrative Academy is going to be about. And that one's like just going to be me ranting about how good it is, but more specifically, why it's so good. Why it's good. Like, examining why this works so well. Because it's like, yeah, it's real easy to say, this thing is good, but the whole point of Narrative Academy is I want to get into why things are good. I don't want to just say, this thing good, this thing bad. I want to talk about why thing good, and why thing bad, and why thing works well, or why thing maybe doesn't work well. Because I think that's valuable, right? It was not on your gaming account, by the way. Yeah, no, I've kind of decided that I think I might just like leave my gaming VODs in the live stream tab and just let them live there, because I feel like they'll probably get more views that way. But yeah, Have you heard of the game In Stars in Time? I've heard of it. I haven't played it yet. I have heard good things though. Habib Janine, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Need more storytelling lessons. Yes, that is what I want to provide. But yeah, so I don't know when the Ghost Trick video will be out. I haven't even started thinking about it yet. I'm not even gonna really think about it until after MomoCon. It's probably not gonna be for a couple months. It's gonna be like later in the summer at the absolute earliest. Cause my next video is probably gonna be some sort of con vlog about MomoCon. And then I have a couple of storytime videos in the rotation that I'm thinking about doing. I might do a poll on like Patreon and channel memberships to see which one folks are interested in first. And then I, at some point, want to do an art style challenge, like drawing in the art style of other like games and shit. And I have a potential sponsor lined up for that one, but I kind of told them like, hey, I'm still interested in this, but can we come back to this in like a couple months because I'm tired? And they were like, yeah, sure. So yeah, I've got a couple videos in the tank right now that are processing. But yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. Next video is probably gonna be like an Artist Alley vlog about MomoCon, but after that, I don't know. I'm still gonna be posting like shorts and shit, so there will be plenty of those coming out over the next couple of weeks for you guys. But yeah. I'm really glad that people liked the Narrative Academy video, because that is talking about story is like genuinely something that I get really excited about. Like narrative and storytelling is my entire shit, and it has been my entire shit for a really long time. I was actually thinking about it earlier today. When I was in middle and high school, I was in this program called Destination Imagination, which is the corniest name. But basically what it was like a theater thing for kids. Is Has Been your entire shit? No, narrative is my entire shit, and Has Been was simply in the line of fire. But I remember we had to like write a short little play, like a 5-minute play for Destination Imagination every year, and I remember getting so annoyed with my they were all my friends and I adore them dearly. I don't talk to some of them anymore. We've kind of grown apart, you know, with as is what happens. Some of them I'm still in contact with, some of them I'm not. And I loved them all dearly, and I still do. But I just remember being so annoyed because we were trying to write these little plays, and I knew that the story did not make sense because we weren't structuring it in a good way, but no one would listen to me. That, or I just like, it was a combination of people wouldn't listen to me, but also I wasn't good at like defending my points. And I wasn't like as passionate about it as I am now. But like, it's just funny to think back and remember I was like 13 and I was still getting as heated about bad stories as I do now. And like trying to, you know, like write my own stories at like 13 for this little like extracurricular activity where we were writing like 5-minute sketches. And just thinking it's like, this story doesn't make any sense. The audience isn't gonna get it. And then they never got it because we went through with like a flawed story and people didn't get it and we got points deducted from it. And I was like, see, I fucking told you. But I didn't say that because I was 13. I just seethed. I just seethed in silence. Grumpy. But yeah. So I like talking about story stuff, but my thing is like, I don't know how frequent Narrative Academy videos are going to be because they do take a lot more time than my usual storytime videos. Instead of dropping F-bombs, you said heck, basically. Basically. But yeah, like the Has Been video did take a lot longer to edit just because, you know, I put all the show clips in. Shout out to my mod team, by the way. They were the one. If you guys enjoyed the art that I drew in the background of the Has Been Hotel video, you can thank the mod team for that. because originally that entire video was just gonna be clips from the show in the background as the B-roll. And then I think it was Dawn who said, like, are you gonna do like a speed paint in the background? And I was like, probably not. I think I'm just gonna do like, what my video essay friends do and just have, you know, like some show clips as B-roll. That would have taken so much fucking longer. That would have taken so much longer. But they talked me into it and I'm like, okay, I can either spend like 10 hours editing show clips into this for the entire runtime of this 35-minute video, or I can do a speed paint to like fill the space in all of the background areas where I don't need specific clips from the show playing. Do you guys want to see the speed paint for that? Hang on, where's my... Do you guys want to see the speed paint? I have like the full time-lapsey thing. I can just like pop it up on the screen if you guys want to see. I might use this in a short eventually, I'm not sure. Here, give me a sec, I can find it. Videos. Time-lapses. I keep all my Clip Studio time-lapses saved. Is it this one? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'll just let that play in the background for a little while. It'll take about 3 minutes. Because it took me about 3 hours to draw. I just literally sat down and just drew this whole thing in like 3 hours. I just like had some video essays on in the back and I just drew it. Alistair's hair is fucking stupid, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. His stupid little bob fucks me up so bad. Like, why is his hair like that? Why is his hair like that? Come on, bro. But yeah, I might turn this into a short at some point. I don't know. Why does his hair look like fox ears when he is a deer? Good question. Glad you asked. I have no idea. Like, I do think he looks cool, I guess, but his stupid bob is so stupid. I like the ears. They don't scream deer to me. They scream fox to me more than anything. But like the antlers are cool and creepy. Like when the antlers come out and they like grow when he's like being a creeper. But yeah, his bob is so stupid though. But yeah, so this did not take me very long to draw at all. I knew I wanted to just do like something simple. It wouldn't take me very long. And so I was just like, well, these two are my favorite characters. They share a song, and it is one of my favorite songs in the show. So I'll just draw something easy based on that. And so that's what I did. He's a deer because apparently got shot by a hunter who thought he was a deer. Yeah, but see, like, is that headcanon? Because that was never in the show. That was never in the show. And I see so many people talking about it, it's like, oh, that's just like, I've seen that interpretation on like, not Tumblr, TikTok. Because, you know, the first time I watched Hazbin Hotel, I may have watched it in, like, each episode was broken up into 3 parts and posted on TikTok. I maybe watched it that way originally. But yeah, like, I will refuse to believe fandom lore until it shows up in the actual show. It was in a live stream from 10 years ago. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm sorry, but as a creator who occasionally drops lore on this, on, like, my own series and stuff, until it shows up in the comic, do not consider it 100% canon. But yeah. Also, so I put a little thingy in the actual video, but like I was color picking from like official art here, right? And I remember like when I color grabbed Alistair's skin tone, it was like so pink, like unexpectedly pink. It's just that all the other colors around him are way more saturated, and so it makes him look gray by comparison. But I literally put a thing in there. I'm like, I do not need the TikTok art mob to come at me and say that I'm like whitewashing him or something. So I put a thing in the video. I'm like, I'm literally color sampling off official art. Do not come at me. What do you mean cooked a pizza isn't canon? They don't cook it to pizza. They commit to war crimes. Oh yeah, and then for the background, I was just like, spotlights, sparkles. Easy backgrounds, don't give a shit. But yeah. then just, you know, like adding glowies until it looks pretty. Add the glowies until it looks pretty. Up there, yep, and there it's done. There it's done. But yeah. So that is that's that time lapse. I might do something with that eventually, but not right now. Not just yet. How many pages does volume 1 have? 216 before we add any potential stretch goal stuff. So I don't know if you guys saw, but in the graphics for the stretch goals, one of the stretch goals is some additional lore. I'm gonna make some pages with additional lore with some stuff that like you could gather from the comic, but is like it's gonna be written out a little bit clearer. And if we do reach that stretch goal, I might actually go back and integrate that into the archive of the story, or like put it on the website somewhere. And then another stretch goal is that I'm gonna do like an art process, like kind of break down my art process for each thing. Here, I can put the stretch goals on the screen real quick. I want magic system lore. I mean, that's mostly what you would be getting in this instance. Because I've started writing down ideas of like stuff I could do. Is like I want to talk, like do some diagrams on the different types of gems, do some stuff on the different types of magic circles. I want to do some like world building lore, just like little extra pages. And the way I kind of want to do it is I want to make it like Frankie's journal. And so it's kind of like written from his point of view, because I think that would be cute. Here's the stretch goals. Wow, big. Meow. Yeah, so these are the stretch goals. So we've hit the spot gloss one. That one's been reached. But so extra pages for world building and concept notes is at 45K. So, you know, we get these bottom two will add extra pages to the book. I'm not sure exactly how many, but that's a thing. But yeah, so that 45,000 one I know is the one that people are gonna really want. Yeah, we're real freaking close to hitting the second stretch goal to get foil. I wanted to keep the all of like the book upgrades pretty low because I wanted them to be easy to reach because I didn't want to, full disclosure guys, I did not want to make these books without the spot gloss and the cover foil. Like my dream edition of these books has the spot gloss, has the cover foil on them. I did not want to make these books without that. But, you know, stretch goals hype people up. You explain the 30K one. So my original goal was to only buy 1,000 books. That's like the base. But if we hit 30,000, I'll be able to afford 2,000 books, and that will last me a little bit longer. So that would be nice. So French folds, if you're not familiar, if you guys have ever gotten a paperback book, and you open it up and like the front cover has like a little fold on the inside and it shows like, okay, why am I like picking up one of my books off my side table? I literally can just draw this. So if you ever like, you have like a book and then you open the front cover of the book and it's got like that little fold. And usually this is where like either an author bio or like a synopsis or something will go. These are French folds. These are French folds. And so if that's what the 25K goal is putting these, because I was looking through my collection of, oh, Dark Horse Workshop, thank you for the raid. I just saw that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello, new people. Welcome to Star Talks About Her Kickstarter All Day stream. I thought that was for a dust jacket. It's kind of like a dust jacket, but it's not a separate entity. It's like attached to the book. So like, you know, a normal paperback would be just like this, but the French folds is like it adds that little fold over bit. Where can we buy? The link for the Kickstarter is both in the description box down below as well as in the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Yeah, but it just, I was looking through my collection of, you know, like comic books and graphic novels and stuff, both indie and fully published, and so many of them had French folds, and I do agree that it does add a certain amount of fancy fance to the books. I don't know what I'm going to put on the French folds yet. I figured I will cross that bridge when I get there. Probably, you know, like a synopsis on the front, maybe like an author thing on the back, but I want it to be pretty. I want it to be pretty. I figured it's just like a little bit of extra fancy. Fancy. But yeah, so one one stretch goal that I did not commit to, but depending on how quickly we smash through all the other Kickstarter goals, we might add. Maybe. So do not take this as gospel. For the love of all that is holy, do not hold me to this. Do not hold me to this, you guys, because it legitimately gives me so much anxiety to think about. But if we smash through all of the other stretch goals, like, quickly enough, I will consider adding a hardback edition. I will consider it a potential stretch goal, like a final stretch goal, if we have enough time left in the campaign and we've already hit all the other stretch goals. I will consider it. Do not hold me to that. But if we get far enough in this campaign, I will consider it. And here's the thing, is if we don't do it in this Kickstarter, I still want to do it eventually anyway. So it's not that, like, if we don't do it now, they will never exist. But if... depending on how much this goal funds...
I also talk.
Yes, Spectre can talk. Depending on how quickly we get through all the stretch goals, that might be a thing that we do for this campaign. If we don't do it as a thing for this campaign, I might run a separate Kickstarter later. No guarantees, though. No guarantees. I'd like a thicker book as a hardcover. Yeah, what I was kind of thinking is I might save a hardcover for, like, kind of an omnibus edition, like something a little thicker with maybe, like, combine the first two books into one, like, special edition hardback. But French fold might be tricky on a hardback. Well, I wouldn't do the French folds on a hardback. French folds would just be for the paperbacks. But yeah, so have you guys... I've actually started collecting the Full Metal Alchemist hardcover books, because they're pretty. And so with those, with the original Full Metal Alchemist volumes, it was like 4 chapters per book. And with the hardcover editions, it's 6 chapters per book. And so I think I might do that for a potential future edition, like a future, like, omnibus edition, special edition type thing. But yeah, that'd be a cool first stretch goal for a volume 2 or 3 Kickstarter. Yeah. I don't know if I would do it for this one, but, you know, like, if y'all go crazy enough, I will consider it. But also, yeah, at the same time, the books, are only going to be like 200, they're going to be less than 250 pages, and I feel like maybe something a little thicker would be better. Will you be selling any after the Kickstarter? Yes, of course. But if you back the Kickstarter, they will be cheaper. Because they're going to be $5 more if you buy them from my store later. Because, like, I know not everybody can back the Kickstarter, but for those who do back the Kickstarter, it's going to be, the books are a little bit cheaper, so. When did you start this Kickstarter? This morning! This morning. My fan base is crazy, and they're trying to kill me. Oh my gosh. Will you ever make a book that has the whole comic in it? Well, considering that that would be like a 1,600 page book, probably not. But I would consider, like, thick hardback special editions with like 2 volumes in each book eventually. But yeah, my fan base. So Jared, listen, he was one of the first backers. I was looking because Dawn was like, who beat me to be the first backer? Because Dawn was number 2 and Jared was number 3, and so I was looking and I'm like, I recognize, like, everybody. Jared, he's doing it again. Jared, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate it as always. Yes, Jared leading the charge, because of course. What did I do to deserve you, man? Holy shit. Yes, if you guys got a gifted membership, make sure to say thank you. Well, yes, thank you. You make 100K and you make hardcover copies of the whole comic. No, okay, so my mom and I were joking about this earlier, because my mom has been saying, like, this entire time that if this Kickstarter makes enough money and I have enough left over, I should buy myself a new car. because my car is it's like 14 years old now. No, 12 years old now. And it still runs just fine. Like, it's a good little Honda, and you know, Hondas are like well known for lasting a really long time. But it is definitely showing its age a bit. And like, it's one of those things where like, I would like a new car, I don't need one right now. And so it's kind of been put on the back burner. But my mom has been trying to convince me that if I get enough money from this Kickstarter and if I have enough left over, I should get a new car. And so I was joking with my mom. It's like, yeah, I hit 100K on the Kickstarter and I get a new car, but then I also put a Castoff themed vinyl wrap on it, like one of those anime cars. Castoff, eat a car. I would never. I live in a small town, you guys. I can't be known as that person with the fucking webcomic anime car. Because all I do is I drive to the grocery store, I drive to the post office, and I occasionally go out of town for anime conventions. I don't go anywhere. The Castoff car, yeah. Castoff mobile. That's the $200,000 goal, yeah. Could that be a stretch goal? I'm not gonna make that a stretch goal because then you guys would be crazy and you'd actually fund it. Castoff license plate? I mean, okay, so my other thing is like, it kind of freaks me out making my car identifiable because I don't want my haters to key my car or like target me for car theft. Although I guess if I had like a really, really fancy car with like a crazy vinyl wrap, I feel like people would be less inclined to steal it because it would be so loud and easy to see. Right? You have that many haters? I don't think I do, but I definitely have some. I have people who are butts to me on Twitter occasionally. Or dox you, yeah. It's like, imagine that I park on the street of my house at one day. Like, I have a garage and I usually keep my car in the garage, but like, what if something happens and I can't put my car in the garage and then I have to park on the street and then everybody knows where I live? Officer, can you identify the vehicle? And I'm like, do you want to see pictures of my OCs, officer? Oh boy. I'm running a game, but I had to drop in and congratulate you. This is my buddy right here. Hi, Jay! You distracting yourself from Dungeons and Dragons, sir? Oh boy. But yeah, so that was the joke stretch goal that my mom and I were talking about this morning. And like, to be fair, if and when I do get a new car, I would love to make like peeker stickers of the cast. It's actually a piece of merch that I've been thinking about for a while. If you guys don't know what peeker stickers are, so like imagine like this is the window of your car. A peeker sticker is like the top half of a character's face. Like if I did a vector one, you would just go to look like this. And they're just kind of like peeking. I would love to get like a bunch of these for like all of the cast and just like line them up along the rear view, along the underside of like the back windows. This is a merch item I've had on my want to make list for a while, but I haven't done yet. So if I ever get it, I probably wouldn't do it on my current car just because my current car is so dusty and I might not have it for very much longer anyway. But if and when I ever get a new car, these are the first things going on it. But yeah. Little guys. Little guys. Huh. And a giant list of star merch, yeah. Oh, yeah, so I guess I'll... Again, don't get excited, because there is no guarantee that this is happening. I have simply put out the feelers, but I have no guarantee that this is actually going to happen. I did reach out to Makeship again, just to see, because like they have a new submission process now, and so I did just kind of, you know, like casually like, hey. Again, it's fully dependent on them to reach back out to me. There is no guarantee, but I do want you guys to know that I've not forgotten that you guys want plushies. And here's the thing, is that this is now my second time trying to get in contact with them. If they don't reach out to me this time, I will probably go ahead and make pillow plushies at some point of just like the cast, because you know, like Makeship actually makes like little plushies, right? Like little guys, like little plushies. The pillow plushie, like these I could make, but my god, I cannot deal with the logistics of that all by myself. So what I would do instead is like make a little pillow and it just has like the art of the characters on it. I've done this before. I have some of these in my shop already for like other stuff, but I would absolutely love to make like, not body pillow style, because god no, but you know, just like the cast in like cute little pajamas or something. Like being adorable, like little slumber party, just like pillows. Because I think that would be extremely cute. Maybe, if you guys are nice to me, maybe I will consider making a Zera one and putting him in a zebra kigurumi. The world's saddest man in a zebra kigurumi. This will not be a thing until after the Kickstarter. This will not be a thing until probably fall at the earliest. But if Makeship does not reach out to me, then I'm just gonna do these, because I know how badly you guys want them to exist. Holly will die. Yes, is my plan to specifically kill Holly. Joking, of course. Yeah, I'm Pastilla too. I see you guys with your Zera icons on social media. I see you. I see you. You guys think I don't see you? Aren't you the one with like an icon of Zera? 20K, let's go! Zera with a bucket on his head on like Instagram, or not Instagram, like Twitter or something. I don't know, but I've seen you. 20K, let's go! Books get foil! Pew, 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 pew. Holy shit, you guys. Oh my god. It hasn't even been 12 hours. It hasn't even been 12 hours. What the heck? That's a lot of books I'm gonna have to sign. We still have a whole fucking month left. What are you guys gonna do? What am I gonna do? Get funded, idiot, right? Oh my god, get loved and appreciated. Yeah, for real. Oh my god. Good lord, I'm gonna have to post an update frickin' tonight. 100K? Don't even joke, I would die. I would simply fucking perish. I would scream and die. It's almost like you have a rabid fan base. God, I mean, like, I want to doubt it, but it's like, it's happening right in front of me. It's getting harder and harder to deny that. Because, you know, like, you want to be humble about this shit, right? It's like, you don't want to be like, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of readers, flips hair like an influencer or whatever. I just... It gets harder and harder to deny that every single day. You guys are keep making it so hard to keep myself humble and keep my expectations low. Keep my expectations, like, you know, reasonable. You are an influencer, do not call me that. With all the love in my heart, don't actually call me that. I don't want to be a fucking influencer. I just want to draw my little guys. When I hear influencer voice, I hear Jinx's Becky voice. Yeah, oh my god, I'm an influencer. No, I'm not. That was a joke. /J/J/J. Is one of the stretch goals Castoff animated show? I would simply pass away, but also that can't be a stretch goal because I have no fucking idea how I would even do that. But like, I'm not uninterested in that being a potentiality. My thing is though, with like an animated show, is I would want to finish the comic first, right? I want the comic to be finished before before it ever gets like an animated adaptation. The book and the comic's gonna take a lot longer. Comic's gonna take a bit longer. Would it be a musical? I would love it to be a musical. I don't know if... I don't know. But my thing is just like, I like musicals. I love musicals so much. But if it did get made into an animated series, I would want like a lot of creative control over it. I would be a fucking nightmare as a showrunner. I would be like I would be so litigious. It's like, yeah, I know fucking lawyers. I will find a really good IP lawyer, and I was just like, But yeah. I don't know. I have a friend whose webcomic was actually getting optioned as a TV series for a while. It never went anywhere, unfortunately, but I mean, she did get paid for the rights to option it out for a while. I hope it does. That would be so cool. She deserves it, honestly. But Star really went, I know a guy. Listen, I used to work for a law firm. I used to work for a law firm where the main guy, one of the two main guys, was a former Supreme Court justice. I know some guys. I know some fucking guys, gang. It's like I haven't talked to him in a while, but I know several guys. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, the law firm I used to work for. One of the two main attorneys who worked there used to be on the Texas Supreme Court. He had like pictures of him in his little like Supreme Court justice robes in the office where I used to work. I know big shots. Star is a lawyer. Star is not a lawyer. Star just knows a lot of lawyers because I literally used to. Star is literally Saul Goodman. I'm not. I just know people. I'm not a lawyer. I used to get them coffee. I don't know jack shit about the law. I just know people who do. Star is the ace attorney. I'm not. I'm like the Maya. I'm literally the. I was literally like, I'll like set up the conference room when there's a meeting. And I will take phone calls, and I will occasionally like remake legal documents if you guys lost the. That was like one of the things that they had me do because they were like, oh, we have hired a receptionist, but turns out she knows how to use Microsoft Word really well. Hey, Star, can you like remake this legal document? We lost the file for it. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. It'll take me like 10 minutes. And they were like, cool. This would have taken one of our guys like 4 hours. And I'm like, it's literally just like rewriting a couple of paragraphs. And they're like, I know. Legal assistant, not even a legal assistant. Guys, I was literally a receptionist. I got paid $11 an hour in like 2014. I never went, well, that's not true. I did not go to court, but I did occasionally bring documents to the courthouse. So I guess if you call walking into the courthouse and talking to the receptionist, they're going to court, then I did technically go to court a couple of times because this was in Texas in the summer downtown, and they would make me walk over to the courthouse to drop off documents, and I would get real sweaty, but I would have my headphones in and I would think about future cast-off scenes while listening to friggin' acoustic songs. That was my job for a couple years. Well, not years. It was just like summer. It was like a job that I would occasionally come back to during summer and winter vacations.
I'm legally not allowed to say swears. Sorry.
MTom87, thank you for this super chat. I appreciate it. What's your advice for me to do in the hot and humid summer? Mine is playing the bass cane and sousaphone. I don't know how to play any instruments, but I mean, like, you know, swimming is also really fun. I really like swimming, but I haven't been in a long time. Just cause it like, the ass and brass is probably what set it off, yeah. But yeah, God, just like speaking of like, you know, humidity, living in Japan, that was like the most miserable summers ever because it was humid and hot and miserable. And my house had no AC. It technically had a window air conditioning unit, but it only really worked if you were sitting directly in front of it. And it used up so much electricity, I didn't use it very much. And so I would just like, I had a standing fan and I would carry it room to room with me. But yeah, you know, just like stay inside, maybe go swimming. That was weirdly in character for Vector. Yeah, he does not say swears. However, Vector has an interesting idea of what things constitute swears. For example, brass. Yeah, Ariana would absolutely swear. I'm not sure if I should say this, but it's not spoilers. It's not fucking spoilers.
I am a
fine.
good boy, mother.
So there's been a joke that I've made a couple times in the past about, like, Castoff and stuff. And I always tell people that Castoff is rated PG-13 because, like, there's violence and characters swear. But I've never dropped any of the F-bombs. Well, you know, PG-13, you get one F-bomb. And that F-bomb may be in the script in Chapter 13. That may be happening in Chapter 13. Because it's a big moment, and it feels appropriate. We get the one, and it's happening in the next chapter. The fun part is that you guys get to guess the context now. I'm not going to tell you who says it, and I'm not going to tell you what the context is, because that's spoilers. But I will tell you that the F-bomb does get dropped in Chapter 13. T. Yeah, you guys finally get your F-bomb. I hope it's Marina. She would never. She would never, let's be real. Marina is a bit like Verity, my D&D character. She'll literally be like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to use language like this, but what the heck was that? Like, she doesn't even swear. She's like, I'm so sorry for using this language, but today sucks! Like, that was a line that I dropped in D&D the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that's how Marina would swear. And she's just like, I don't like using... She's not quite that intense, I don't think. Marina would say a damn occasionally, I think. I think she'd say a damn if she was really pressed. Verity wouldn't. But I do that in D&D sometimes. It's like, I don't mean to use such foul language, but today sucked! Pardon my French, but what the hell? Yeah, basically. I cannot see Marina dropping the F-bomb. But I can see her dropping a very impassioned damn. Or a go to hell if she was especially pissed off. But nothing any worse than that, I don't think. Frankie said damn once in the comic already. Yeah, when he was extremely pressed. That's like the one swear you're gonna get out of Frankie. Oh boy, you guys, I'm so excited for some of the stuff that happens in Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is weird because it's like, I've got it in my head, but I haven't actually written the script for it yet because I've been so distracted, and I'm like, it's getting to a point where I'm starting to get real concerned. It's just like, I need to sit down and figure out the script for this because we're like past the halfway point in Chapter 12 already. Like I said, Chapter 12 is going to be shorter. Will we get double week uploads again or not yet? Probably not yet. June at the earliest, not before MomoCon. I would love to, but it's just like, I've got some stuff already. Wow. Yeah, no, I told you guys, like, Chapter 12 is a lot shorter. So here, let me break this down. I was going over this in mod chat, but the other day, but I want to see. So, okay. So, as far as publicly available pages, we have the kitchen scene. The last page of that is the page that I uploaded today. There is the scene right now that's going up for patrons. There's like this scene, which is the one that's going up for patrons. And actually patrons just got the end of this scene. Because this scene is like shorter. And then there's what I'm gonna call the uh-oh scene. And this is the one that I'm about to be finished drawing. I have like 3 more pages. I have 2.5 pages more to draw for this one. And then after that, we have like a short little interlude section. That's probably only gonna be like 2 or 3 pages. The uh-oh scene, don't worry about it. And then after that, we get another like slightly longer scene. Another slightly longer scene, uh-oh scene part 2, and then, God, it's hard to keep track without actually, like, writing down what these scenes are. Uh-oh, reprise. And then this is kind of like gonna end that section. And then we have one more like longer scene, and then we have the last scene. So this is all we have left. And so this scene is like, I think like 6 to 8 pages. This is gonna be like, no, wait. This I think is like, no, wait. Shit. This is not the uh-oh scene. This is the uh-oh scene. Because this is the weird little interlude. It's gonna be like 2 to 3 pages. This one's gonna be like maybe 4 to 6. And then this one's probably gonna be longer. This one's probably gonna be like 8 to 10 pages. This one's probably gonna be like 4 to 6. And then there's gonna be this one, which is probably gonna be like 4 to 8. And then this last one is gonna be a lot of big panels. Big dramatic closer. That one I'm gonna say maybe like a max of 10. So yeah, I haven't thumbnailed anything past this. Like, this stuff is all unthumbnailed. I've thumbnailed up to here. But everything else after this I haven't thumbnailed yet, and so I don't know exact page counts. But this is about the halfway point. And this is the part that we have reached. So that's what the rest of chapter 12 looks like. Yeehaw. That's what the rest of chapter 12 appears to be. Pizza crimes. Yeah, we cook the pizza. But yeah, my darling mods do get early cast-off pages as their payment for keeping an eye on the streams and the server and stuff. So I've been showing them like, hey guys, slides a finished page across the table to them. Oh boy, it's been very fun. I've been looking forward to some of this shit. I will admit that like some of the shit, this bit specifically is the part that I am nervous about, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Geneva convection oven, yeah. But yeah, this chapter is a bit of a trip. And I've told you guys before, it's wild that chapter 12 in this form did not exist until very recently. I was working on the script for chapter 12 in its original form, and originally, okay, chapter 12 was originally something else entirely, but what I ended up doing was, okay, so this up here. So original chapter 12 was like the Sage backstory, and then all the stuff that happens immediately after. And originally the Sage backstory was gonna all be told through like exposition. It was gonna be told through narration. It was just gonna be like Sage literally just being like, hey, this is a thing that happened. And literally everything that happens in chapter 12 would have been wrapped up in about like 8 pages of just like flashbacks and dialogue. But then at some point when I was scripting, I'm like, this sucks. And so what I did was I snapped it in half and I made the Sage backstory chapter 12. And then I took all this other stuff and I made it into what is now chapter 13. So, so that's what happened here. This sucks, rips it up and starts over. Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes you just gotta admit that, like, sometimes the shit you write is not as good. And see, here's the thing, that if this had stayed the original chapter, it would have been so fucking long. This would have been another fucking 150-page chapter, I swear. But the way we have split it up, it will not be that way anymore. I love the flashback, personally. I am it feels weird to compare myself to this because the Castoff flashback is not quite as revolutionary to like completely reworking your thoughts around the entire thing as the episode 10 of Madoka. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But this is kind of Castoff's version of that. It's like you finally see the originating backstory and you see like, you get all this new information that completely reframes everything that we know up until this point about the story. Like chapter 12 of Castoff is kind of my version of the Madoka Magica episode 10. And I'm not going to explain that to you. If you don't know, then go watch the show, and if you do know, then you know. That's the flashback episode. Madoka Magica is a dark magical girl series, if you're unfamiliar, and it basically, like, kind of strings you along and doesn't give you a whole lot of information about what's going on a lot of the time, but in a really fascinating way. And then in episode 10, the entire episode is a flashback focused on one of the main characters who we don't really know that much about until that point. And then it's like, it completely shines an entirely different light on literally every single thing that's been going on in the story up until that point. And it completely, like, it almost, I would argue, changes who the main character is in the show. And it's like, it completely recontextualizes every single thing about the show up until that point. Because you get all this new information, but you get it, and so you, like, see it, and you understand now all of this stuff. You have all this additional context, and you understand now what all that shit was. And that's kind of what Chapter 12 is for Castoff. It's not going to answer every single question, but it's going to answer a lot. Midpoint reversal, let's go. Basically, yeah, because we really are at the midpoint. And so, like I said, this is not, chapter 12 is not going to reveal every single secret. I still have a bunch of shit up my sleeves. Case in point, I love that people think we're gonna see what happens in the prologue in chapter 12. And I will say nothing more on that. I will say nothing more on that. We are going to get a lot of information, but we will not get all of it. Because I still have to keep some tricks up my sleeves for later reveals. But anyway. No answers on who chair guy is? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You said that. We'll remember that bit. Like I said, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything. I will simply make silly little noises until as long as you guys keep guessing. I'll just like, oh, interesting, interesting. And I will say that to literally every single guess you put out there. Nico's wife, probably. Oh, interesting, interesting. I have very much enjoyed reading people's theories on like, oh, how does this connect to the prologue? How does this do the thing? This is obviously like, that's the magic circles. So what happens is like, is Nico the person in the chair in the prologue? Is people, who is in the prologue though? Here's the thing. We're still missing bits. You guys are still missing bits. You're missing just enough that no accurate theories have been presented. Well, I don't want to say that. Most of the theories are extremely wrong though. The ones that I've been like, poking at. I've seen some that have gotten very close. Even all those theories about Nico being related to any other white blonde character. I giggle so much at people who think that that Nico and Ariana are related. Guys, people can have the same hair color and not be related to each other. I know that, like, the way this story works, you guys can't put that past me. They're not related, you guys. And Nico's not Cart Guy. You guys are hilarious, but Nico is not Cart Guy. They're two completely different guys, I promise. We're missing exactly how it went from Sage doing a favor for Nico to something possibly run by a cult or something government related. Yeah, we're still missing a lot of those middle bits. I figured I was joking. No, I figured you were. I just, like, I've seen people, like, make those jokes. And they give me a tee-hee ha-ha, but it's like, guys. And like at the same time, that will be disproven by the end of the chapter anyway, so like, you know. We all hate Cart Guy. Cart Guy does not have a canonical name. I never named him. He's not Cart Guy. Cart Guy is Cart Guy because he sucks. And he is designed to suck. That's his entire job. And yet, a couple weeks ago, when I was getting dinner with a fellow webcomics friend, after, I was getting dinner with a comics buddy after Staple a few weeks ago, and I had to explain General Cart to her, because we were talking about, like, our readerships, and, like, she's got a really big fandom. Her comic is over now, but, like, when it was running it, she still does have, like, a really big fan base. And so I was kind of like asking her a couple questions of like, but I was like, yeah, so the newest thing that my readers have been up to is they've created a crack ship and called General Cart, and then I had to explain the whole evil is stored in the ass thing. And I was just like, I cannot believe we're sitting at this restaurant and I'm having to explain what evil is stored in the ass is to you. It's like, I didn't even do this. They just came up with that. She found it very funny, which I guess is the good news. But God, right? It's very fucking funny. I'm lost. So am I. I don't know how this happened. I just remember the General Cart thing was like a fucking flashbang to me personally. I just remember logging into Discord one morning and that was like the first thing I saw. And I was like, huh? It's like, where the fuck did that, like, okay, you guys have done some weird shit. Like, the Castoff fanbase has come up with some strange things. That's probably the weirdest, because I genuinely have no fucking idea where it came from. There's a surprisingly large amount of fan art. Yeah, like what the hell? What in the world? I don't get it, but I'm glad you guys are having fun. I don't get it. You guys are on something that I will never understand, but I am so glad that you're having fun. I do not understand it. But God, it gives me the giggles. I could not have seen that coming. You could have offered me $1 million and infinite guesses to guess what weird fucking scene is gonna come next. And I would never have guessed that. I would never have guessed General Cart. No one could have seen that coming. No one could have. Huh? Part of the appeal is the absurdity that confuses the author. Well, okay, I guess it's highly appealing then, because I am highly confused. Oh boy. I am so confused, but I am so glad you guys are having fun. You guys are taking my little Legos and crafting shit that I could never have foreseen. Like, legitimately, where did that even come from, though? Like what? Those two are never going to interact. What the fuck? What in the world? Anyway, God, I want to play with my markers. I want to play with my markers, but I gotta finish the stream first. They're both racist. They're perfect for each other. God, you're right, though. They deserve to share a jail cell and get spicy every night. Ugh, gross. Isn't that like the defining characteristic of crack ship? I guess. Listen, I've never been into fan fictions. I never got the crack ships. I'm so glad you guys are having fun. I do not get it. I don't even know what's going on. Me neither. You are just as lost as me. We're all lost together here. Castoff show should have Tom Holland playing Vector. So here's the thing. I haven't watched any of the newer Spider-Man movies that he's in. Because I kind of dropped off of Marvel after the first Avengers. Cinematic universe is too many. Cinematic galaxy I can handle. Cinematic universe, that's too big. That's too big. I don't have time to watch that many films. I don't wanna. You can't make me. I like Spider-Man. I like Spider-Verse, specifically, in a bubble. I don't know anything about the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I was thinking about it the other day, and just like kind of casually thinking, because I've been watching Dungeon Meshi, and I think that perhaps at this point, my new, don't write this in stone, but I feel like the guy who does Chilchuck's voice would probably do a pretty good Vector. Like, Chilchuck's voice is a little too low, but I feel like if you took Chilchuck's voice, you made it a little bit higher, you made him a teenager, and you gave him anxiety, I feel like that would be a pretty close approximation to what Vector sounds like in my head. It's got the right twang to it. Twang is not the right word, but it's got the right feel. It's got the right ear feel, right? And actually, I think that same voice actor is the one who voiced Shinji in the Evangelion dub. I think I saw clips of that on, like, behind the voice actor or something. It's not, like, perfect, but it's very close to kind of what I imagine. This is the second time I've heard an Arch YouTube channel mention Chilchuck this week. He is just a little guy, and I like him. He is just a little divorced union man. He is small and pissed off, and I enjoy him. We, in the group chat, we were trying to, like, assign people as, like, who has vibes for these characters. He's just a little grown-ass man. He is! And I love that vibe, honestly. He's great. We are having such, like, a renaissance. 3 series does not feel like enough for a renaissance, but I feel like people have finally gotten tired enough of isekai that we're actually finally getting some good, actual non-isekai fantasy out there. When the Witch Hat Atelier anime finally comes out, you will all be sick of me. You will all be so sick of me. I am waiting on bated breath for the Witch Hat Atelier anime. They're getting one. It's in development right now. They announced it a few years ago. It's coming. And I am so fucking excited for when that eventually drops. When I see my man's Kifri in motion, I will become insufferable. Prepare to be sick of me. I love him, Your Honor. And also, it has been so long since I have related to a character quite as much as I have related to Olrugio. Like, holy shit. But also, like, Witch Hat Atelier is coming out soon. Dungeon Meshi, extremely good. What's the third one? Oh, I haven't watched much of it. Brett Freerin. I've only watched a little bit of it. But it looks so good, and I loved what I've seen. I've only seen, like, the first 3 or 4 episodes. But it's so good, and it's, like, it's good fantasy! It's good fantasy that's not isekai, and I feel like the fantasy fans are fucking feasting these last few seasons. We've got Freerin, we've got, yeah, elves, basically. We've got Freerin, I think, just finished. We've got Dungeon Meshi that's actively running. We've got Witch Hat Atelier coming sometime in the next couple of seasons, hopefully? Maybe? And I'm just like, this is the holy trio. This is the holy trinity. And I am so excited for just, like, more good fantasy. Give it to me, God! You sound so feral right now. Good. My thing is just, like, I'm so kind of sick of, like, high fantasy as a genre that seeing interesting and original takes on it is so refreshing. I just fucking eat that shit up. Like, I'm gonna have potentially a controversial opinion here, guys, and you are welcome to throw stones at me. I will dodge them or hit them back at you with a tennis racket. I do not care for Lord of the Rings or Lord of the Rings style fantasy. It doesn't do anything for me. I liked The Hobbit. The Hobbit was fun. I cannot do the Lord of the Rings. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just like, I can see why people like it, but it's just so... It's just too high fantasy, right? It seems... It takes itself far too seriously, I think. And like, it's a serious story, and that's fine if you like that kind of thing. It's not for me. It's very much not for me. I liked The Hobbit because it was fun. And I had fun with it. I tried to read The Lord of the Rings. I couldn't get through the first 4 chapters. We tried to watch the movies when I was in Canada, and that was a little bit better, but it's just like, I think the extended edition, I think 3 hours of a movie is too much movie. Or actually, God, no, they're 4 hours, aren't they? God. It's too much movie. It's too much. And I just like... I feel like so many fantasy stories just kind of try to copy the vibe of Lord of the Rings, and it just doesn't do anything for me. And so like when I was growing up, I remember like when I first started Castoff, like my friends were asking me, Star, why are you writing a fantasy story? You hate fantasy. And I'm like, I don't hate fantasy. I hate this specific type of fantasy that takes itself too seriously and has to stick up its own butt. I like fantasy if you give me interesting stuff to play with and fuck around with. But Hi, Jinx. Yeah, we got halfway through the second film. Lord of the Rings is very dense, it is true. And it's like the movies were like a little easier to stomach because, you know, it's a film. It's a lot easier than trying to read a book. But like... I think the extended editions were too much. I think that if I had just watched the original, not the extended edition, maybe I would have had a better time. I think the 4 hours is too much movie. I would like us to issue a sincere apology to all the Lord of the Rings fans. It's just not for me. It's not for me. It's just not for me. I'm not the target demographic, and that's fine. Not everybody's gonna like every single little thing, you know?
Mother, we have a question in chat when you have a moment.
What's the question? I've been trying to keep an eye on chat, but like the chat's moving really fast. If you could cast Pro ZD or Sungwon Cho as any Castoff character, who would it be? God. Good question. The first and only thing that comes to my mind is General Briss, because hear me out. General Briss with the Lysander Roth voice. Or yeah, the innkeeper guy would work. That would probably be better. But now I just want to... Yeah, I could see him as the innkeeper. Yeah, that would make more sense, I think. But, God, that would be funny. Oh my God. His machinations have laid undetected for years. Oh boy. What was this I heard? Vector is Shinji. Oh, Savet, I guess you weren't here. I was talking about how we were talking about voice actors for a hot second, and I mentioned that the person who voices Chilchuck in Dungeon Meshi is pretty close. It's not, the Chilchuck voice is not perfect. You need to take the Chilchuck voice, you need to push it higher so he sounds younger, and you need to give him so much anxiety, and I feel like that would be a pretty solid Vector voice. But also, like, I do think that same voice actor did Shinji in the original Evangelion dub, and I need to go back and re-listen to that, because I think maybe I listened to those clips and it wasn't, like, perfect, but it was close. So, But yeah. So, like, Lord of the Rings, honestly, too high fantasy for me. I have friends who love Lord of the Rings, and I am so happy for them. I love loving things. I love being excited and into things. And like, I think that Lord of the Rings is, I think it is a well-crafted thing. I think it is just not for me. And that's fine. But I like that we're starting to see like more fantasy media that's kind of starting to push past what Lord of the Rings kind of put out there. And like the fantasy anime we've been getting recently is like a really good example of that. I am very excited for a lot of the fantasy media that I have been consuming recently that kind of like puts its own spin on like media and stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it. What's your thoughts on Star Wars? Do not care for it. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know jack shit about the Star Wars. All I know about Star Wars is that I fell asleep in the theater watching the prequels, and The Mandalorian stole the plot of Castoff. This is mostly a joke, but it's also not a joke. I try. My thing is like, I try to get into things, but I'm learning I'm coming to terms with the fact that I am picky. There's not a lot that I outright hate. I'm just very meh on a lot of things. It's like, I can acknowledge that a lot of people are into this, and I can acknowledge that people have fun with it, and it's well crafted, and it's an interesting story. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. It doesn't really do anything for me, you know? I'm picky. I'm picky. And I'm coming to terms with this as I grow old. Now, you want to talk about something that I hate that's gonna get me some fucking mad people in the chat? You guys want to see me piss off at least a couple people in chat right now? You guys want to see me do it? You want to see me do a trick? Demon Slayer fucking sucks, and I don't understand why it's so popular. My friend and I were talking about this in Discord. We were just like riffing, and it's like, why is it so popular? It's genuinely so bad. Like, it is so not good. It's so bad. I've tried to watch it twice. It is mid at best. I would legitimately love to do a narrative academy on Demon Slayer, but that would unfortunately require me to watch Demon Slayer. And I've tried to watch it. Like, here's the thing, guys, here's the thing. I never go into a show wanting to hate it. If I think I'm not gonna like it, I just don't watch it. But so many of my friends love Demon Slayer so much. They love Demon Slayer, and like, I have friends who cosplayed Demon Slayer. I have friends who sing its praises and talk about it's such a good story and how it moved them so much, and they loved the characters so much, and it's so popular and it's so good. I disagree entirely. I disagree entirely. I have actively tried to get into this fandom. I have tried to watch Demon Slayer twice. I never got past episode 6 because it's just so fucking bad. The pacing is so bad. The pacing is so wacky. The characters are flat pieces of fucking cardboard. Do not even get me started on that little yellow bitch. I don't know his name and I don't need to. He's the yellow bitch. And I hate him. I legitimately have tried getting into this show multiple times. I wanted to like Demon Slayer. I wanted to be in the fandom so that I could see like what I wanted to be part of it, because, you know, like, it was so many people who loved it, and I wanted to be part of that. I tried watching it twice, and I hated it. It was so bad. It's like, I don't judge people who enjoy it, but I maybe think that you need to broaden your horizons a little bit. Because, like, there's better food out there, you guys. There's better shit out there. You just gotta, you know, go watch it. You gotta go watch something better, because you're just like sitting here eating like sawdust and claiming it's high cinema. It's like, guys, there's better stuff out there. The show just gets by because the animation is really pretty, and to be fair, that is one of the reasons why I tried to get into it. The art style of Demon Slayer, fucking gorgeous. The anime is beautiful. I love the line art style in Demon Slayer. I love the colors. I love the effects animation. Like, that's one of the big things that made me get into it. But oh my god, the story fucking sucks. Holy shit, it's bad. Oh my god, you guys. Like I said, I would love to do a narrative academy on Demon Slayer, but I'd probably only watch like a couple of episodes. Because it's like, guys, I don't want to watch this. This is bad. This is how I feel about Jujutsu Kaisen. No, because we talked about Jujutsu Kaisen. Me and my friend who were talking about Demon Slayer and talking about how bad it is, we also went off on Jujutsu Kaisen, and he had not seen it. And so I had to tell him, he was like, well, what's wrong with Jujutsu Kaisen? I'm like, oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, I have some words to say about Jujutsu Kaisen. And to be fair, I do think that Demon Slayer is a lot worse than Jujutsu Kaisen. I think Jujutsu Kaisen does have some good stuff for it, and some of it is interesting. And to be fair, I did not watch a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen pissed me off extremely badly about 10 or 11 episodes in, and I dropped it like the hottest potato, and then I stomped on it. I was like, this is such shit. I hate this. Jujutsu Kaisen legitimately is one of those shows where it's like, I could have kept watching it, but it actively pissed me off so badly that it turned, like, this was a acquaintances to haters arc. Because, okay, I will try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but I'm not going to be able to make it entirely spoiler-free. I can't ever seem to articulate why I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen has a really interesting premise. And then, like many shonen manga, like many shonen series, I did not read the manga, I watched the anime. Like many shonen series, it does not let its characters have any kind of emotional depth. Even when you would think that emotional depth would help to, you know, send the story on its way a little bit. Okay, you know what? You know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. I will erase this when I'm done. If you don't want spoilers, mute the stream for a couple minutes, because I'm about to spoil this shit. I will erase this bit when I'm done talking about spoilers. Okay, okay. So, in Jujutsu Kaisen, I wasn't, like, super into any of the main characters. The first time I got interested in one of the characters was this little emo kid that they introduced you around episode, I think, 8 or 9. And I don't remember exactly what his deal was, because it was a few years ago when I tried to watch this, but he was like the first and only character that I got really attached to. He's alive for 2 episodes, and then they kill him off in like a really upsetting way. And that bummed me out, and so I was like, well, goddamn, he was like the only character I cared about. And now he's dead, and I don't know if he's coming back. They didn't make it seem like he's coming back in the future. But I'll keep watching this, I'll keep seeing this. So the thing that actually pissed me off was in the very next episode, something happened that literally pissed me off so bad that I turned off the show in the middle of an episode and never went back. So in Jujutsu Kaisen, the main character is around for a couple of episodes, and then he has a brush with death a few episodes in, and all of the, like, other students in his little monster hunting group think he's dead. And they think he's dead for most of the first season. Like, he's gone from their sight for, like, at least 6 episodes, I think. And so they all think he's dead. And they're, you know, like, they're sad that he's dead. Like, and so, but he's still alive. And I can't remember exactly how it plays out, because, again, I watched this a long time ago. But I think it was something like there were bad guys after him, and it was safer for him if everybody just let the others think that he was dead. And so then meanwhile he was just kind of like dicking around with some of the other characters doing other things. But you know, they hinted, so like they kept hinting that eventually they're gonna get this big joyful reunion, right? He's gonna finally show up to his little monster hunting party, and he's gonna tell everybody, hey, by the way, guys, I'm actually not dead. And there was gonna be this like emotional reunion between all of these characters, and it would really solidify them as characters. And I had been waiting for that tearful reunion for like several episodes. Getting that catharsis of this group finally being reunited after everything they went through was the only thing that kept me watching after Emo Kid died. That was the only reason I kept watching after my favorite character died after only being in the show for 2 episodes. And then, next episode, I think it was the next episode after Emo Kid dies, we finally get the reunion, and everyone's just like, oh, thought you were dead, guess you're not, cool. Hey, anyway, more about the school festival. There's fucking nothing. It was the most robbed I have felt watching a show in a long fucking time. Like, I had been waiting for, like, the emotional catharsis of this reunion, and we got fucking nothing. It's, okay, so imagine, hey, you guys, you know how in Castoff at the end of chapter 10, we have that really big emotional reunion when, like, the girls party and then, like, the lighthouse trio, when they finally meet up with each other again, and they, like, finally is, like, they get that catharsis and they finally see each other again. It's, like, a really big emotional moment. Imagine if instead of doing that, I had made it so it's just, like, Ariana just, like, saw the boys and was just like, oh, hey, there you guys are. Anyway, we should probably get out of this town. It's really dangerous here. Let's just leave. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, cool. Nice to see you. Let's leave. That's what Jujutsu Kaisen did. That is essentially what Jujutsu Kaisen did. And I turned off the show immediately afterwards, and I never watched that show again. Anyway, yay, 21! Let's fucking go! Beep, 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 beep. I'm glad that my anime rants got us there. Let's go. But yeah, so that's my Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers. Can people who watch the anime, has anyone, don't spoil it for folks who maybe just came back. But like, am I wrong in thinking that that was bullshit? Or did other people feel the same way? Because like, I just felt like that was so wasted. And I'm just like, come on. It gets worse? What do you mean it gets worse? Oh my god. Am I gonna have to watch Jujutsu Kaisen and make a whole bunch of people mad at me? It's bad. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me that. Because then I'm gonna want to watch it just to make a narrative academy on it, and then I'm gonna piss off all the Jujutsu Kaisen fans. Like, I get it. Gojo's pretty and y'all are horny, but goddamn, this does not make up for this shit-ass plot! Oh boy. Gets worse, don't tell me that. Don't tell. Season 2 will make you cry. Will it make me cry for actual sadness tears, or will it make me cry out of frustration because it's bad? Those are two very different emotions. Gojo and the memes are keeping it afloat. Yeah, like whenever I hear about Jujutsu Kaisen, I basically only hear about Gojo. I don't hear about those main character bitches at all. It's like, no one cares about the main characters, it seems like. Side question, how many volumes of Witch Hat Atelier? I think right now there's 12. There's more out in Japanese, but I don't think they've been translated yet. Rage tears? Oh, Jesus. Horrible, horrible, gut-wrenching sadness? Doubt, honestly. With what I've seen from the show so far, I genuinely, sincerely doubt that. I mean, who knows? Maybe I could be proved wrong, but I am that fucking, this is me right now. This is me. I'm that fucking meme right now. This is me. Press X to doubt. This is me. People tell me, Jujutsu Kaisen will make you cry? Doubt. This is the mood. This right here, this is the mood. Oh, man. But see, the thing is, I feel like if I talk badly about this show, people are going to fucking kill my ass. But then again, I thought the same thing about Hazbin Hotel, and that went much better than expected. And actually, like, here's the thing, is, like, I could yell about why I think the Demon Slayer is bad, but another YouTuber is kind of already covered all the points I would make, and he actually watched the whole thing, and I'm like, you made the sacrifice, so I don't have to. I'll just point people in the direction of the video that you made. There's a fun fact, actually. So there's another YouTuber that I follow, whose videos I very much enjoy. His name is Captain Mac. He's a smaller channel. I think he's got like 50K right now, but his videos are very good. He makes a lot of video essays talking about like anime and manga and stuff. He's got a lot of really good shit. Captain Mac. Yes, that is how you spell it. So if you guys want to go find his channel, that's how you spell it. If one of my mods would actually like to go grab the the URL for his channel, I would appreciate that. But he makes a lot of video essays about like anime and manga and stuff like that, talking about story stuff. And he actually has a video on Demon Slayer that is extremely good. And he brings up a lot of the same points that I would have brought up, but also he actually, you know, watched the whole thing. And so I didn't have to. And so it's just like, I feel like if I wanted to make a Demon Slayer video, it would probably like cover the same points. So it's like, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to watch a Demon Slayer. Just go watch this other guy's video about it. But yeah, so fun fact is actually that Demon Slayer video kind of inspired Narrative Academy, because like seeing someone talk about this show that's like so acclaimed, it like talking about why it's bad, but like going into the specific reasons of why it doesn't work, and like talking about the magic system and the fighting system and like why these characters fall really flat. I was like, I have similar thoughts about other shows, and I love talking about this shit. Yeah, so his channel was a big inspiration for Narrative Academy, actually. If you watch any of his videos, go watch the Demon Slayer video. Really articulates a lot of the same feelings that I had. Except that he doesn't comment any on Nezuko in that entire video. When that was like one of my biggest things, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? That Nezuko was just conveniently unconscious for 6 months while the main character had a training montage. What do you mean? What do you mean she is just unconscious for 6 months? Why? Why? How? Literally why? Explain it to me, please. She's just unconscious for 6 months. And then when he's done with his training montage, she wakes up and it's never explained. And I was just like, why? 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 How? Why? Is Nezuko the girl with the bamboo mouthpiece? Yes, her! I have so many issues with her! Ah! Coma? She's not, though! She literally is just like, she's fine the episode before, and then she just like, goes to sleep. For 6 months. And for no reason. It's so dumb. And I was just like, why though? Why though? But yeah, so. It's wild. She had a fucking nap. She had a nap. She had a fucking nap for 6 months. And then she just wakes up and like nothing happened. And then she's like, oh, is the plot moving forward again? Okay, wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. What the fuck? It's so weird. Sleeping for 6 months is a mood. Right, God, I wish that I could sleep for 6 months and then just wake up having completed a training montage. I just want a nap. I want a fucking nap. And I want to wake up and have a fucking breakfast taco. And just... Why don't humans hibernate? This is bullshit. I want to hibernate. Anyway. Maybe. If you guys want it badly enough, after the Ghost Trick video, maybe I could be convinced to watch enough of Jujutsu Kaisen to make a video on it. Maybe I just watch the first season and talk about that. If you guys want it badly enough, maybe I will suffer. Maybe. Put it on the maybe list. Another video I want to do for Narrative Academy is less focused on a single show, but I want to talk about like prologues. Like what makes a good versus a bad prologue. Talking about is like your story does not need a prologue. Stop putting them in there. But that one's going to require a bit more research because it's going to be about multiple different shows instead of just like one series that I can watch and focus on. So I don't know when that one's going to be done, but it's on my list of want to do's eventually. But no ETA on that one. I just think it would be an interesting topic to talk about. For some reason, I thought you were going to make a Narrative Academy of Oshinoko. I thought about it, decided I've kind of lost the sparkle for that one. I'm not as interested in doing that one anymore because I feel like there's other shows that would be better useful for my time. Because like Oshinoko is just like, it has this one issue that I don't really like about it, and it's like in the first episode. Like if I did a video on Oshinoko, I would only talk about the first episode. You should make a video about Demon Slayer. I don't want to, though. Because making a video about Demon Slayer means I need to watch Demon Slayer, and I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I'll put $10 in a tip jar if you watch the JJK movie. But that means I have to watch it, though. Did you mention doing one for Bravely Default 2 at some point? Yeah, that's another one, but also that would be... I'd have to go and replay that 80-hour game and get footage for it. And that would also involve me buying a new capture card, probably. If you watch Demon Slayer, then you'll get a lot of views. Listen, I did the Hazbin Hotel one because I was interested in that show as an indie storyteller person. And I watched it casually, and it was only 8 episodes, so it was easy. Just because it is long. And I don't wanna. Don't do things you hate for the views. Yeah, exactly. Didn't you already have a playthrough of Bravely Default 2 on the VOD channel? Yeah, but I'd want to go back and, like, get new footage for it that wasn't, my VTuber overlay. But yeah, so, like, the Ghost Trick one would be easy because that game is really short. I can just, like, replay it really fast, to get footage for it that does not have my VTuber in the corner. But yeah, anything longer. Because, like, my thing is, like, I love Bravely Default. That game's got some problems. Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 1 also has some problems. But right now, I don't have a good way to capture footage for it because it's a DS game. I'd have to download an emulator. And emulators scare me. I've tried in the past. They scare me, though. I have tried... Heh. How do you feel about My Hero Academia? I was actually really big into My Hero Academia in the first half of season 1. When it was just a story about Deku and All Might, I loved it. Once it stopped focusing on them and started focusing on the bajillion other characters, I stopped caring. And then it got to a point, like, I read the manga up to about chapter 100, I think. And then I kind of dropped off, and then I blinked, and the anime had gotten further than where I read in the manga, and I was just like, eh. But yeah. I don't really have any super strong feelings about My Hero Academia, except that when the anime was first coming out, I loved the first half of the first season so much that I made an 8 tracks playlist about the mentor-mentee relationship between Deku and All Might because I thought it was really sweet. And I loved it a lot. And then the show very quickly became not about that. And then I stopped caring. Every episode was a fight between 2 characters I'm never going to see again, so I stopped caring and never finished it. Yeah, I kind of stopped watching it. I read up to, like, chapter 100, but I never watched past season 1. I don't even think I finished season 1. I'm not big into battle anime, honestly. Like, I'm not big into a lot of shonen. If you're gonna get me with a shonen, there's gotta be feeling behind it. Like, Full Metal Alchemist. Would you consider Full Metal Alchemist a shonen series? It's definitely not a battle series. Because, like, I feel like a lot of shonen battle anime I don't really care much for. And I don't think that Full Metal Alchemist falls into that, but would Full Metal Alchemist be considered a shonen? Shonen Light, yeah, it's shonen. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna see what the Wikipedia says. Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, it was apparently in Square Enix's Shonen Manga Anthology magazine. So I'm gonna say that qualifies it as a shonen. Because if it's not a shonen, then I don't know what the fuck else it would be. Because, like, I love Full Metal Alchemist. It's genuinely one of my favorite, like, stories in general of all time. So good. Because, you know, the characters actually have emotions, and they feel like real people. And so much shonen anime, the characters don't feel like real people. They feel like punch machines with 2 or 3 character traits stapled to them. And then they fight each other. And I don't care about the fights because there's no emotion behind them. It's like, and that's a broad statement to put on an entire genre, I know. But it's just like, it feels like so many shonen manga, shonen anime, the emphasis is so much more on the fights rather than like the characters. And I care about the characters and the plot so much more than seeing cool fights. Try Mob Psycho, you'll love the fights from the emotion in it short. I've actually watched Mob Psycho. I feel like maybe I need to go back and rewatch it because I didn't get. I think I remember enjoying the first season, but not enough to like go crazy over it or anything. I remember liking it, but I was not crazy about it. Maybe I just need to rewatch it again. Maybe I wasn't in a good headspace for it. Cool fight should be more of a treat rather than the norm, I feel. Yeah, that's probably a good way to feel it. It's like, I want the fights to feel special. And in a lot of shonen anime, it just feels like it's just about the fights. And the characters come second. It's like, I want to care about the characters that are fighting, because that makes it actually mean something to watch, you know? And it's just like, I feel like a lot of battle series don't have that. And therefore, I care less. Hang on, I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Stop committing crimes. I'm back. Honestly, I mostly had to blow my nose and I didn't have tissues next to me, but I didn't want to leave you guys in awkward silence for however long that was gonna take. You should read Tokyo Ghoul. It's got amazing character development, but the anime was done terribly. Yeah, so Tokyo Ghoul, I actually, I watched the first season and I enjoyed it. And then I tried to watch the second season and I didn't remember, it had been long enough that I didn't remember what happened in the first season, and I was really lost at the start of season 2. That's what I remember. But I remember enjoying like parts of Tokyo Ghoul. I thought it was interesting. I also like the anime character gets so stressed out their hair changes color trope. Hee hee hee. So that's a little bit of a... Tokyo Ghoul falls under the subgenre of put that little guy in a fucked up situation and watch what he does. Subgenre of anime and manga that I do enjoy dearly. I like seeing little guys put into situations. Which, like, you could say is the... is, like, you mean stories in general star? I'm like, no. There's, like, a very specific subgenre of little guy in a fucked up situation that I kind of love just because it's like, I like drama. Like, that was kind of what drew me to Jujutsu Kaisen, honestly, but I feel like the main character was not a little enough guy and he was not in enough of a situation. You mean Castoff? Yeah! I can tell glances at Castoff. Oops! Oops! My whole everything is showing. Oops, oh no, I didn't even think about that, but you are completely right. You are completely correct. You like little guys being put into situations? Read my fucking webcomic. That wasn't even intentional. That was just me showing my taste. And it was relevant. Oh man, yeah, product placement, literally. There's my product, I've placed it. It's over there. Look at it. Look at it. Putting little guys into situations. And I feel like Tokyo Ghoul was a good example of a little guy in a fucked up situation being like, oh no, buddy, what are you gonna do? Eats popcorn. Eats popcorn. It's like, what's the little guy gonna do now? Eats popcorn. Popcorn eating emoji. Oh gosh. You leave that little guy alone? No, I want to see him suffer. Little guy suffering might be a better name of that subgenre, but I like the word situation too much. Little guys in situations is one of my favorite subgenres. I'm trying to think of like other series that fit that. Number 6, I remember watching, and that show's got some weirdness about it. But that show had a little guy going through a fucking situation, and he was also gay. Gay and bees. The gay bee anime. The bees aren't gay, but the people are gay, and also there's bees. Oh gosh. Is the Kickstarter on screen for the book version of Castoff? Yeah, I just started today. It's already raised $20,000. And we still have a month left. Because y'all are crazy. How do you know the bees aren't gay? I don't know that technically. The bees could be gay, but we don't get any bees making out on the screen, so we'll never know if the bees in number 6 are gay. I know that those boys are gays though. They kiss. I think do they kiss in number 6? I don't remember. I haven't watched that show since college. I remember that they were definitely it's been too long. I can't comment on it. Bro, can't believe they turned the bees gay. Yeah, they put aerosol in the air that made the bees turn gay. They made the bees gay. Can you believe that shit? Anyway, what are some other put a little guy in a situation series? I'm trying to think of some other ones. So we've got Tokyo Ghoul is one. Because see, the thing is, like, with that subgenre, Evangelion, I guess that would count? Maybe? Witch Hat Atelier? Yeah, I would argue Witch Hat Atelier fits that. Witch Hat Atelier is probably a good example. But Coco, I would not argue, is a little guy. Coco's a little girl, and she's just doing her best, and we love her. Would Gurren Lagann count? I don't feel like the situation in Gurren Lagann is dire enough for Gurren Lagann to be a little guy in a situation anime. Like, Simon is a little guy, and he is in a situation, but I feel like the situation has to be a specific level of dire, and I don't think that Gurren Lagann falls into that category. Ooh! Promised Neverland. That one's got a bunch of little guys in a big situation. And yet the first, okay, here's the thing. First season of Promised Neverland, art. So good. Love it. Second season, they decided to not follow the manga and do their own thing, and it's really bad. So watch the first season of Promised Neverland and just imagine what happens after that. Yeah, season 2 doesn't exist. It's really sad that the Promised Neverland never got a season 2 and it ended after season 1. It's really upsetting. There is no Promised Neverland season 2 in Ba Sing Se. There is not. It's true. And there's not one here either. But yeah, that one's for those of you who do not know what Promised Neverland is about here, I'll spoil the first episode for you. It is about a bunch of kids who live at this orphanage. And it turns out that all of the kids are basically being raised as demon food, and they don't know it. And when a kid gets sent out for adoption, it means they're getting eaten by demons. And the entire series is about figuring out how to remove themselves from that situation. So Promised Neverland is a bunch of little guys in a really bad situation. And I love it. I love seeing little guys in situations. What about Spirited Away? I would argue that, yeah, Spirited Away is a show about a little guy in a situation. Chihiro's not a little guy, she's a little girl. But, you know, little guy is gender neutral. That would also work. Yeah, Demon Wagyu, exactly. Child Brains. Delicious eating. Hunter x Hunter. I read the manga in high school. I don't remember enough about it to agree or disagree. Guy should be a gender neutral term. I use it as one. Because I like to say that I'm a little guy sometimes. It's like, I'm just a little guy. You can't bully me. That's what I say when my friends are bullying me. I say, you can't bully me. I'm just a little guy. And yet they persist at doing it, and they keep bullying me. And it's quite frankly very rude of them. Oh, golly gee. Would erased count? Would erased count for a little guy in a situation? I feel like erased is right on the line of little guy in a situation. Because the main character's not technically a little guy. Physically, he's a little guy. Mentally, he's not. Because he, like, goes back in time. Kind of. Erased is one of those really good shows where the first half is really good, and then the second half, it kind of loses itself. And then the ending's kind of bad. But the actual show is, like, the first half is genuinely some of the best shit I've ever seen. It's like so interesting and so fucking cool. And then it just kind of loses the plot a little bit in like the last third. But still very good. Does all isekai pretty much count? No. If you're isekai'd into a world and you're having fun, then no. If you're isekai'd into a world and it fucking sucks, then yes. Like, I honestly don't even know if Sword Art Online... Like, Sword Art Online is one of the only isekais I've actually watched. And I would argue that that situation is dire, but I almost feel like they're having too much of a good time playing the video game for it to be little guy in a situation worthy. Isn't SAO terrible? Yeah, it's not great. Like, the first season in a vacuum by itself, I didn't hate. We don't talk about the second season. ReZero. I haven't watched ReZero, so I can't comment on it, but from what I've heard, it might fit. Lord of the Rings. You know what? Actually, yeah, Lord of the Rings would work for a little guy in a fucking situation. Now that I think about it, yeah, that would count. That would absolutely count. Because Frodo's a little guy, and he's in a fucking situation. So yeah, I would argue that yes, that would work. Digital Circus. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I did watch the first episode of Digital Circus back when it was the only episode out. I wasn't huge into it. I feel like it had too much stuff going on. And it just, that's one of the shows where I'm willing to just say I'm not the target demographic for it. I think it's just not for me. But I think that would also work, yeah. It's not an anime, but would Percy Jackson count? Probably. I feel like that's right on the line of I don't think the situation is quite fucked up enough for it to be, because I mean, like, it's a children's series, right? I do love me some Percy Jackson, though. I was hardcore obsessed with that series when I was in high school. I feel like Percy Jackson rides the line of little guy in a situation, though. It's like little guy in a situation for kids. Where, like, it's not as fucked up as some of the other stuff, but I feel like it meets all the qualifiers. He's having too much fun to be in a bad situation. Exactly. Avatar? Absolutely not. Avatar, I would absolutely not say that it's a little guy in a bad situation. Aang is in a bad situation, but, like, it doesn't make him miserable. There has to be, like, a little bit of misery, right? I feel like that's the key thing here, is, like, where the subgenre winds up is, like, they have to be at least a certain level of miserable in order for it to fully meet the qualifiers. And I feel like Avatar, I don't... Like, Aang has a lot of personal tragedy going on. I don't know if he's miserable enough. Because, like, if they had wanted to, and if Avatar was not a kid's show, they could have gone a lot darker with it. They didn't, and I'm glad they didn't, because I love that show as it is. But I don't think it meets the brief here, necessarily. I would put Avatar in the same subgenre as Percy Jackson, where it's a little guy in a situation, but for kids, so they're not quite as miserable. Well, Vector isn't that miserable. No, I would argue he kind of is. Y'all can fight in the chat about it. I'm not super pressed one way or the other, but yeah. What about Stranger Things? I haven't watched it. I don't know. I watched the first season. I thought it was interesting. I don't think it needed a sequel or 4. But it's been a really long time, so I don't remember enough. But yeah, we've been talking about this for a really long time. I hope you guys are enjoying my media-based rambles while we just watch number go up. I hope this is enjoyable for y'all. What about TMA? So TMA definitely meets the brief of misery. I guess it counts as a technicality, but I don't think that Jonathan Sims is enough of a little guy. You know, he's a little too competent to be a little guy. I would say that it definitely meets the brief, but maybe it's like a side piece, kind of. This is a long tangent. It was. You can't tell me Jonathan Sims isn't a little guy. Okay, you know what? Fair. How about Magnus Protocol? I haven't listened to it yet. I've been waiting for there to be enough episodes for me to binge, and then at some point I'm gonna crack and I'm gonna listen to all the episodes at once. Jonathan screams, little guy. I agree to disagree, I suppose. See, when I think little guy, I think of, like, teenager. Because I feel like when you put a teenager in a situation, they're still, like, kind of pathetic enough. This sounds so bad. I feel like Jonathan Sims is a competent enough adult that he doesn't feel like a little guy to me. You know? He's definitely a wet cat, though. I will not argue with you there. I would argue that he doesn't feel little enough to be a little guy for me, though. He feels a little too competent to be a little guy in a big situation. He's definitely in a big situation, though. Parasite the Maxim? Absolutely! Parasite, the anime, is absolutely, like, the perfect example of little guy in a situation. That show is the blueprint. It's good. The first few episodes are good. Once he stops being a little guy, I stopped giving a shit, honestly. Little guy core. Because I was not thinking teenager for little guy. Like, they don't have to be a teenager, but they have to be a certain amount of pathetic, I think. You can be adults and still be pathetic, but I don't feel like Jonathan Sims' Magnus Archives is pathetic enough. We can definitely fight about this, though, because I see where you're coming from. I wouldn't say I entirely disagree. I just think that maybe he doesn't meet my own brief. Little guy needs an element of mom pick me up, I'm scared. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Especially if the character has a mom, and for whatever reason, he cannot tell the mom about the situation. Because, yes. Oh, gosh. What the fuck am I even talking about anymore, man? Well, that means Sarah is little guy. I mean, probably. I think Vector is very much more fitting the brief of little guy in a fucking situation. Zara is a wet cat of a man who is also in a situation, but I would argue the Vector is in a worse situation. I'm glad you guys have stuck around for me just literally talking about fucking nothing for 3 hours. Well, I guess the dumb anime tangent has only been like the last 45 minutes or so. Who put me on this tangent? Who did this to me? I need to know. Oh boy. I'm happy to talk about Jonathan Sims forever. I mean, honestly, relatable. I do genuinely enjoy the Magnus Archives a whole lot. Have I told you guys about my funny story with the Magnus Archives about how the creator follows me on multiple platforms now? And how it freaks me out because it's like, oh god, he sees me being cringe. It's like my one little claim to fame is that I made fan art of the show back before the fandom got huge. And like the actual Rusty Quill account retweeted it. And then real life human being Jonathan Sims followed me on Twitter and then proceeded to never interact with any of my stuff ever again. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, I don't even care because I talk about this podcast a lot and I don't need you to see me being cringe. Actual human being Jonathan Sims. Thank you for the follow. I'm flattered, truly. But I hope to God you have me muted or you don't actually look at Twitter that often because the concept of you seeing me being cringe about the podcast that you make is very embarrassing to me. And so for a long time, I thought that he might have me muted or he just like, you know, did not actually, like he followed me for this one piece of fan art I did and then just like never saw any of my other stuff ever again. And I was totally fine with that. But then when everyone started migrating to Blue Sky, I had a Blue Sky account and then he also migrated over to Blue Sky. And so I followed him on Blue Sky thinking, oh, he's not going to follow me back. Chat, he followed me back within 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no, he perceives me. I don't know if I have the fan art on this computer because I made it so long ago. This was like 2 computers ago, but let me see if I have it in here. I might. Probably in my old art folder. I've got a lot of silly bullshit. Got a lot of dumb shit in here. Hang on. Oh lord, what the fuck? See, if I just search Magnus, it's gonna bring up a bunch. Oh hey, there it is! I do have it. It does still exist. Look, I drew that. I drew this. This is the fan art that got me followed by real human being Jonathan Sims Magnus Archives. I drew that in like 2017, 2018. Because I was listening to the show and I liked it. And so I drew this. I drew this when I was sitting under my kotatsu in Japan. It was cozy. But yeah, so that is the fan art. Enjoy it. That was a long while ago. Yeah, I drew this before the series like really picked up a fan base. Because I caught up to Magnus Archives, I think when season 3 was still airing. And from what I understand, the fandom didn't really take off until season 4. And so I kind of like slid in right before the fandom got fucking huge. And I do this. I do this. But yes. I will go back and, like, you know, actually listen to Magnus Protocol at some point. I've just been kind of waiting for there to be a decent backlog of episodes. Little guy suggestion, half of Junji Ito's main characters. Yes, absolutely. Like, Junji Ito has so many fucked up little guys and fucked up situations. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. Yes. All right. So here's the thing, gang. It is about time for stream to end. I am out of water and my throat hurts. So I think I am probably gonna go ahead and call it a night here. And I am not going to be streaming next week, and I probably won't stream the week after that. Because next week is MomoCon, so I'm not gonna be home. And then the week after that, I'm probably going to have to spend catching up on everything. Because I'm going to be out of town for MomoCon for like a week. So I'm not going to be streaming for a while. But if you haven't backed the Kickstarter, please do so. If you back the project within the next 12 hours or so, you can get your book signed for free. You get a free signature on your book if you back it in the next like 12 hours or so. So if that's something that you want, you can still get the book signed afterwards, but you'll have to pay extra for it. So if you want to get a signed book for free, you gotta pledge by the end of the day. The link is in the description and also in the pinned comment up above the chat. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, gamers. Let's look at my fucking weird-ass doodle board. We went some places here in the stream, gang. But yes. I will see you guys in June, probably. But until then, fare thee well, friends. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Goodbye.